All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. First things first, let me know if you can hear me. You know how it goes down. We always do a quick sound check up front. Today we got something very special that I'm excited for. But first, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I see people from Maryland. I see people from Nigeria. I see people from North Carolina in the house. Welcome. More people joining in as we speak. Awesome. All of you should have the ability to comment somewhere in a chat box around you. So wherever you can see, you can type. Go ahead and type in there. Let me know that you can hear me. I see a hi from London, Jason, Barry from Portsmouth. I can hear you clearly. Awesome. All right, welcome guys. This is our Wednesday session. Now today we're doing something extra special, something that I've been wanting to happen for the longest time now. We have to pull a lot of strings to get this together, but it finally pulled off. We have a special guest, a very special guest, that is going to show you something so insane that I myself want to learn so much more about, because I know this is the way forward to easily rake in tons of money this year. So I'm gonna learn just as much as you. You might be able to see it on the screen already. Also, give me a heads up if you can see the screen, so we know we're all good on the tech side of things. But basically, he's going to show you how to make 12,000 a year at minimum for every 2 hours you work. I mean, that's just a nice add-on. With whatever you're already doing, whether you have your own product or service or you're working a business on the side, I mean, having that side income working for you, I mean, that is beautiful. So I'm definitely going to implement this myself. I'm going to sit back, take notes, and pay attention. And I am going to recommend you to do the same. Other than that, we still have our regular Q&A sessions on Saturday. I'm going to challenge you, because on Saturday, I'm going to come and ask what you've learned, how much you enjoyed it, and if you've really paid attention, and if you took notes. I'm going to see if you really were actively participating. So, you know, just like with me, make sure you always answer any questions you hear, be active. And without further ado, I'm going to call in our amazing guest superstar. Herc, are you there? Let's see.
Yeah, I am here, and thank you so much for that introduction. Hi, everybody. Just can you give me a quick one if you can hear me and see my screen? I just want to make sure I'm coming through for you guys as well. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Tom, Ian, Mary, Rick. Awesome. Okay, guys, so welcome to the training, how to make $12,000 per year for every 2 hours you work as a digital real estate landlord using something called the FBRR method. And yes, I know that headline, like it, you know, it sounds like a lot of pure hype and BS, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really wanted you here today, so I wrote as compelling a hook as I could to try and convince you to come today, because that's what we do as marketers, of course. So I wanted to actually show you why that is not BS, it's actually true, and how you guys can do it as well. So I am really glad you are here, okay? Because the FBRR method is very real, and it's changed my entire life. And I'll get right into it. It all started right here, guys. So this is a picture of me when I was about 13 years old and about to head off to high school with my mom and dad. It's hard to look at this picture because this was a hard time for me in my life. I had a conversation with my dad at this point that stuck with me for the rest of my life, and it planted a seed into my subconscious, guys, that eventually grew into me making a very modest fortune. And that question went like this, okay? I really didn't want to go to high school. I hated school already. I was scrawny, I was unpopular, I hated homework and studying. And I told my dad all this, and he said to me, son, we aren't rich. And if you won't want to live at home forever, so you have to finish school so that you can get a good job and pay your way in the world. And give me a one if you guys have ever gotten that kind of advice or heard of that kind of advice. I think, you know, we all hear it. We all are kind of trained, right, to get a job, go to school, pay your way in the world. Yeah, I see lots of ones coming in. I said to my dad, you know, Dad, I really wish we were rich. And he said to me, son, if you want to be rich, it won't be easy, but if you really want it, you have to find a way to get paid for a long time from work that you have to do only one time, right? You have to find a way to get paid for a long time from work that you only do one time. That's how you're going to get rich, he said to me. And I asked him, well, like what, Dad? What kind of things can do that? And he said, well, there's lots of examples. Musicians write songs once, actors film a movie once, authors write a book once. And if any of those things become popular, the owner of them earns a lot of money from them for a very long time. And these are called royalties. And we all know about royalties, right? So at the time, I didn't really feel very confident in myself at all. There was no way that I thought I was going to become something as cool as a musician or an actor. And I definitely didn't think that I was going to write a book. So I asked my dad another question. Are royalties the only way to get paid a lot for working only once? And he replied, no, royalties are paid after an investment of your time, but you can also invest your money instead, once you have some, of course, into things like stocks or real estate. And once you own them, they can pay you over and over again. Now, I didn't fully understand what he was talking about at the time, but he was talking about things like stock dividends and real estate rentals. And give me a one if you're familiar with those kinds of things. Passive income through like dividends, real estate rentals. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, those create passive income, and this sounded to me more realistic than becoming some sort of rock star, even though, you know, to a 13-year-old boy, that's the coolest thing in the world, is to dream about being something like a rock star or a musician. And remember, guys, at the time, I felt like I was just a scrawny little geek, right? So I went to high school in hopes that one day I'd have enough money to invest into things like stocks or real estate so that I could make a passive income and do whatever I wanted. And today, guys, almost 3 decades after that chat with my dad, I almost became a rock star. We'll talk about that more in a bit, but I did figure out passive income through real estate, and it's real estate that we are here to talk about today, except not the traditional kind where you'd have to invest tens of thousands of dollars to get started. Today, I'm going to teach you how I made my modest fortune with digital real estate. So hello, everybody. It's nice to meet you. If you haven't heard of me before, my name is Herc Magnus. Yes, that is a picture of me on a pretty big stage with long hair and a guitar. Like I said, I almost became a rock star, but I am a serial entrepreneur, guys, and an SEO expert. I'm a co-founder of 4 softwares with my partner, Todd Spears, on keyword research, on-page SEO, client acquisition, client management. I teach over 5,000 students now in my groups worldwide. But most importantly to me, guys, I am an ex-rock and roller who loves performing live music, okay? I've been online marketing in one form or another for the past 25 years. And in only 2 of those 25 years did I ever hold a real job. And I'll tell you why that matters later. But in the last 5 years, I've done over $4 million with my online business while never missing any time with my son or my beautiful wife. And I can't tell you how amazing that is to be able to have time to spend with your family. I managed all this and I never even finished school. Yes, much to my mom's disappointment, I did finish high school, but I'm a college dropout, okay? So in all my years of online marketing experience, over 2 decades, I have seen or tried or done it all, okay? And it led me down a path to what I believe is the perfect foolproof business model to start an online business today. And I want to share that model with you today so that you guys can literally copy it, so that even if you are like I was and you didn't finish school, you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to invest, and you don't want to spend all your time working, I can still show you how to achieve your own goals, whether they're financial freedom goals or time freedom goals, from something that you can do starting in your spare time. without investing tens of thousands, without giving up your family life, okay? So if I can show you guys how to do all this today on this training, will you stay on this presentation to hear me out and how this is possible? Give me a one if you're willing to listen to me at this point. Hopefully you are. Awesome. Okay, lots of ones, great. Guys, if you follow through on what I am going to teach you today, in the next 6 to 12 months, you could be able to, okay? And I can't say you will, I'm just saying, if you put in the work, you could be able to quit your full-time job, work less than 3 hours a day from home, okay? So let me ask you a different question. Would replacing your full-time job for a legitimate online business with a better salary and unlimited growth potential while working less than half the hours that you do right now change your life? Yes or no? And it seems like a kind of a stupid question, right? I already kind of know the answer and I'm seeing people, yes, of course it would, right? That's exactly what I'm going to teach you guys how to do today. By the end of this training today, you're going to learn how to make money in almost any industry you choose, in any country or city, and all from the comfort of your own home. I'm going to show you how to build appreciating digital assets that cost you less than $50 each and can make you $500 to $1,500 per month, okay, every single month. So what we're going to cover on this webinar today, guys, is in section 1, I'm going to teach you how to give yourself that $12,000 a year raise for every 2 hours that you work from home. And yes, that's the hypey promise. And I'm going to show you how this is realistic very soon. In section 2, I'm going to share with you my simple 4-step FBRR method. And that's going to show you how to build these digital assets for less than $50 each that can pay you up to $12K per year. And finally, in section number 3, I'm going to show you how to seduce any business into handing you those $1,000 paychecks every single month with no risk to you and no risk to them. So if you guys are ready to get started, let me see like 100 yeses in the chat, and we're going to get started right now. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Ian, Mary, August. Okay, let's get going, guys. Awesome. Super excited. So section 1, here we go, guys. The college dropout. That's me. I'm going to share with you how to give yourself that $12,000 per year raise for every 2 hours you work from home, as crazy as it sounds. Okay, so I'm going to start with a question, you guys. I want you to type your answer into the chat. Would you rather have unlimited time or unlimited money? Type T for time or type M for money. Which one would you rather have if you could have it? Okay, unlimited money, unlimited time. I see Judah with money, Tom with time, Mary with money, August with T, time, William, TM. I like that. And there's Jack too, both. Okay, and that's where I want to go with this. What if you could have both, right? Here's my story, guys, of how I got both, right? And first of all, why is my story important? Okay, because of this quote right here by a guy named Anthony Robbins, who I'm sure many of you heard of. If you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results that you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. It has been his shortcut to success, right? And it's a very common quote from a very popular guy. So I'm going to show you how you can copy my success. So after finishing high school, guys, I tried the college route, but it just wasn't for me. And instead of attending class and studying and doing homework, at that time I was playing around on a new thing called the internet, because that's right when the internet was starting to come out and I was getting on. And I eventually found out that I could use the internet for more than just looking at boobs, because of course I was, you know, a 20-something going to university, getting on the internet, and it was easy to access boobs, and that's just what young guys do. But I eventually figured out how to make a few bucks with the internet, right? So in fact, I've been making money online since I've been about 20 years old, right? But up until about 8 years ago, I had never really made it. I didn't have a lot of money, and I always made just enough money to live on and pay the rent as long as I had roommates. And that house is actually where I lived with 3 other roommates. There was 4 of us, and my share of the rent was about $350. Not too much, enough that I could afford it and do what I wanted. So to be fully honest with you, at that time, guys, I was pretty damn happy, because with all that free time, I could focus on my band, which was what I was passionate about at the time. I just wanted to play rock and roll. And you can see a picture of me with a shirt that was absolutely true at this time. I had no job, I had no money, I had no car, but I was in a band and I was quite happy. And there's a picture of me on a very, very big stage with the red arrow on the right. Okay. And does anybody recognize the guy with the sunglasses on there? Let's see if you guys are up on your 80s rock and roll trivia. Yeah, you got that right. That's Slash from Guns N' Roses, who happened to be my childhood hero and pretty much the reason that I wanted to be a musician. And I hit the pinnacle of my musical career when I met this guy. I was like, I have made it, right? I brought myself so far in music that I met the guy who started it all for me. But I want you guys to remember at this time, it wasn't my band that was paying the bills. It was the tiny little bit of money that I was making online that was paying the bills, right? But after years of working alone out of my bedroom, I started getting jealous when my friends were going to fun company functions like team building events and Christmas parties and cool stuff like that. And I wanted to be part of something like a team, right? So I got the most social job that I could think of as a part-time bartender. And there's a picture of us partying behind the bar. And as fate would have it, guys, that's actually the job where I met my future wife, right? And at the time, I felt like, whoa, this girl is way out of my league, right? And you can kind of tell by this picture of me and her, like, what is that guy doing with that girl? She's hot, right? And I'm not. And I felt like she was way out of my league, but I knew she was the one I wanted to live a life with, but I would finally have to grow up. Like, I'd have to give up on the dream of music, right? So I did. And in 2013, I took the first real full-time job I'd ever hold in my entire life, and I traded my time for money, right? So that I could provide stability for me and my new woman. But after about 16 months, a year and a few months of working 2 jobs, because I kept my part-time bartender job, but I also became a full-time printer technician, I was hating it. I was absolutely hating it. Like, who really likes work, right? Yes, I was making a stable income, but now instead of time, I had money, and having a job ate up all my time. So my girlfriend was also working full time, and guess what? She hated it too. And we both knew that we valued time over money. And that's why I asked you that question. If you had to have one or the other, which one would you rather have? We had time, and then we had money. And ultimately, we knew we wanted both, just like you guys that said both. And she had always been kind of curious about how I made that money online before we met. And it seemed like a way for us both to be free, right? So we both decided to do that, only this time we were going to get very, very serious about it. So we both quit our full-time jobs and we moved down to Phoenix, Arizona to be distraction-free and focus on building our new online business. And we started by building these tiny little AdSense and affiliate sites where people would find our sites on Google, and then when they got on the sites, they'd click the ads. And winning sites could make us up to $1,000 a month. And here's a screenshot of 4 months making, almost $5,000. And I thought, you know what? I'm so smart. Like, I was going crazy. I'm going to build 50 of these websites and I'm going to be rich, right? But the reality set in, as it always does, and I quickly learned that for every 10 websites that I built doing this method, only 1 would produce any real income. So it took me a lot of time and effort to find those winners. And even then, the winners didn't always stick around in Google. I'd eventually lose my rankings, then my traffic, and finally my income would disappear too. So of all the sites that we built with those methods, only 1 of them is still making us any money today. And you can see here's a recent screenshot of a site that's making about $230 a month. And while that's very, very cool because it is passive, all right, it's not even enough money to feed my kid. Like, I want to build a life, right? So I quickly realized, guys, that for the amount of work that we have to put in with this affiliate and AdSense model, this method wasn't really scalable to me. But the silver lining was that I learned some SEO skills doing this. This is where I started my SEO journey and started learning. And one night, a guy named Alex Becker, who you may or may not have heard of, okay, I was attending one of his functions, and he told me, listen, you could use those SEO skills because businesses will pay you up to $1,000 a month to rank their websites on Google. And I thought, wow, right? That's an easier paycheck than what I was doing before. So I transitioned into building my own SEO agency called Position One Marketing here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which is where I live. And Becker was right. It was great money. I was quickly making more money than I ever had before by helping my new clients rank their businesses on Google, right? But this method presented a whole new set of problems, which was like a reality check again. And I'm sure you guys go through these reality checks just as much as anybody else. I was always on my client's terms. As soon as I signed a new client, I was on their terms, meaning number one, I was handcuffed to their industry and their location. I had to do SEO for their business, meaning I'm stuck to their niche and their location, which often made my job as an SEO even harder. And sales weren't really easy either because I had to sell first and deliver second with an SEO agency model. Okay, it's a risky proposition for any business that I talked to, and selling the promise was hard. And the promise is basically with an SEO agency, it's like, look, pay me now and I'll rank your website and get you results later, right? So even when I did land new clients, they immediately became just another boss. They were often very demanding, wanting faster results, more of my time for weekly progress meetings and updates, but they were justified. They were allowed to ask me for all that stuff because their money was on the line. It was them putting up all the risk, right? So if I wanted to get paid by them, I had to put up with it, right? Yes, I was making more money than my real jobs ever paid, but I was working just as many hours, except with way more pressure, way more responsibility because I had way more bosses. And when a client left me for not delivering results fast enough, the income left too, okay? And that's not even the worst part. The worst part of all, guys, is in the end, all the work that I was doing and being paid for, it actually belonged to them, right? I spent all my time building their assets, their business. Just like I was doing in my real job, I was being paid a salary to build someone else's business. So I knew I could never really grow this way. I thought this model's flawed too. It's not quite right. I wasn't building my own future. I was building someone else's future, right? So here's a meme that I came across one day, and I love it because it encapsulates this ideal perfectly. And it reads, my boss arrived at work in a brand new Lamborghini, and I said to him, wow, that's an amazing car. And he replied, if you work hard, put all your hours in, and strive for excellence, I'll get another one next year. I will get another one next year, right? Because he's got all these employees building his dream, right? And that's not what we want, guys. That's not what I wanted either. Every client was a hard sell. I had no flexibility. I was under way more pressure. My clients weren't stable. They could leave at any time. The business wasn't scalable, right? And eventually over time, guys, I became super stressed out about this, and I closed down a 5-figure per month agency. And you can see in the bottom right of this screenshot, I was making $25,000 a month, and I was stressed out to the max. And I had so much stress, that much money wasn't good enough for me. And give me a one if you think that's crazy to close a $25,000 per month agency. Like, dude, you couldn't put up with a little stress? Yeah, and someone just said, sometimes it's just not worth it, right? Sometimes money is just not worth it. You have to be happy and healthy, right? I didn't give up on the dream though, guys. As you can tell by now, I never give up, right? After everything that I had learned, I now ask myself, okay, so how do I get high paying clients where, how do I get high paying clients where the real money is at, right? High dollar value, but I need to get them easier and faster, meaning sales need to be easier and faster. And I need it to be in locations that I choose, right? I want to choose easy locations, right? I don't want my clients to be able to control me with their salary, right? So if I'm building something, I want that something to work for me. And even if a client left me, my business would continue to grow, right? So I thought of something really unconventional, and it became the answer to mine and my family's dreams. Now, I don't know if you guys know me or have heard of me before, but one thing I do want you to know is that I can't stand people who brag and like lifestyle marketers who are always showing off their watches and their clothes and their Lamborghinis. That's just not my style. I don't like that. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. But I am trying to show you that, guys, my life changed from becoming a broke rock star with no money, no job, no car, to being able to buy my wife a $16,000 engagement ring. And then we got married right after that. And then we were pregnant pretty quickly. So I bought a house, which is in the top middle. I was able to buy a house. And then when my wife became pregnant, I was able to buy her an Escalade. It was the car of her dreams. And then once my son arrived, I'm able to buy him the expensive toys that I want to get him, like these little Jeeps, right? And I'm just showing you guys this stuff to say, like, life can change, right? Your life can change. My life changed. Yours can too. But do you guys want to know what my major breakthrough was at that point? Yeah, it was a simple positioning switch, just positioning. So let me explain this to you guys. Now, every single business needs only one thing. And what do you guys think that one thing is? What does every single business need? And you guys type your answers in the chat and I'll read them out. Yeah, you guys got it right away. It's like more leads, more customers, right? More revenue. Leads become customers and customers become revenue. So it's every business wants more leads, right? And you guys nailed that one right away. This one's a little tougher. What does every business fear? Let's see if anyone can get this. This one's tougher. What does every business fear? Someone said taxes. Someone said no leads, that they're not good enough. COVID. Nobody's got it yet, but I'll just tell you guys, it's risk, right? Businesses fear risk because risk can hurt you very, very bad, right? Just like the SEO agency, pay me now and I'll get you results later. Businesses are afraid of that because they have to put up risk, right? So my agency at the time was great at providing more leads, but it was always a hard sell because it was very risky for any business because the sale was pay me now for results later. Pay me now and I'll get you leads later. That's risky. Businesses hate that. So I asked myself a new question. Okay, so how do I get a business new leads, which is what they really want, with no risk so that they don't have to fear it? How can I give them what they want without risk? That should make things easier, right? So I had this idea. Well, what if I build and rank websites first, right? So they start generating leads, the thing that businesses want, before I ever talk to a business. I still offer the businesses what they really want, which is fresh leads, but I'd remove the risk from the business owners by offering them instant leads. Pay me now, get leads now. No risk, right? If they wanted to continue to receive new leads every month, okay, well, I'll rent you the entire site that's generating leads for plus or minus $1,000 a month, right? So I ran with this new idea and I started building out websites, guys. And much to my surprise, the sites only took me about 2 hours to build, right? Most of my websites are only 3 to 5 pages because I learned something when I was in an agency. I can see how much unnecessary stuff people do to their websites to get them to rank. And I don't like doing that. I like keeping things minimal, right? To get maximum results. So the websites ranked really fast because I was the one that was building the sites with little to no competition on the first page of Google, right? And how did I do that? I chose profitable industries in easy to rank locations, right? I only built websites if they were a profitable industry in an easy to rank location, and I call those quick wins, okay? And I'm gonna show you exactly how to find a plethora of quick wins later, and it's gonna be like this Wheel of Fortune wheel, where every time you spin, it's gonna be $1,000 a month site, except for a couple of times you might go bankrupt, right? And it's kind of just an illustration. And guys, these sites, when I was building them, they also started generating leads very fast because they ranked fast, right? But it keeps getting better. It wasn't only better for my clients, right? It was better for me too. I had zero pressure on me while I was building the sites. They weren't for anybody. They were for me. So I had no pressure. It could take as long or as little as I want. Sales were coming easier too because the sites were generating leads already. I had removed the risk. Any new clients that I signed required almost zero of my time because all the work was already done. No progress updates, no weekly meetings. Where are we at now? Where are we ranking now? It's already done, right? All I had to do at this point, guys, was set up automatic monthly payments to send to my new clients. And I was starting to love it. This is it. I instantly started noticing this power shift in my business, guys. Clients no longer had control over my income or my growth potential because I owned the properties, right? I was the owner. So even when or if a client did leave me, guess what? I would just rent it to the next business who wanted leads, right? And there's never a shortage of businesses who want more business, right? So no matter how many of my properties were rented or not, the number of my digital assets was always growing, right? So can you guys see how I hold all the cards with this method and how that little journey, I kept eliminating problems. Awesome. I could build new sites, new assets whenever I feel like it without anyone breathing down my neck. I have zero bosses, whether a website is rented or not. I'm the boss. I'm the landlord. You work for me now, right? Sales were 100 times easier, and my digital assets continue to provide no matter what, and I'll always own them. They're mine, right? So I can finally work 3 hours a day building sites or zero, right? I've already got a big portfolio of sites, and I can make great money doing it, guys. And that's my story of how time and money became mine, right? Thus, my entire life's path, guys, has led me to this point, all the way from a geeky high schooler dreaming of fame and riches, wanting to be rich and asking dad how to do it, to a college dropout, making my first few dollars online, to almost becoming a rock star who met the girl of his dreams, to a now happy and fulfilled family man where I can provide for my growing family without sacrificing very much of my time at all, right? Because I am a pimpin' digital real estate landlord. And maybe now that ridiculous picture makes more sense, guys. It's just, me trying to have fun with it. But that's what I am. I'm a pimpin' digital real estate landlord. So guys, to prove my headline to you, the headline of this webinar, how to make $12,000 a year for every 2 hours you work. On average, guys, a site that takes you 2 hours to build can be rented out for $12,000 per year. That's $1,000 a month times 12 months. That's $1,000 a year. So let me ask you guys, please answer this question. Do you now believe you can earn $12,000 for every 2 hours you work? You might not know how, but do you see how it is possible? Type yes if you get it. Passive digital real estate. And I see the yeses coming in. Awesome. August, Ian, Tom. Okay, great. So let me show you how to do this, guys. Now that you believe it and you understand how it's possible, let me show you how to do it, okay? So as you can tell from my story of constant trial and error, my business evolved into a foolproof model called Rank and Rent, right? Well, what is Rank and Rent, guys, to put it in a more simple term, okay? A house will cost you about $250,000 to buy, or this little laptop, which represents a website, can cost you $50 to build, but both of them can earn you $1,000 a month. And the name of the game here is passive income. So both of these can earn $1,000, but one's going to cost you $250,000 to acquire. The other one will cost you $50 to acquire. So if you wanted to make a passive $1,000 a month, what would you rather risk as your investment? 250 grand into a house or $50 into a website? Dumb question, right? Of course, you would be $50 because it's less risk. Well, what if a house costs just $2,500? Okay, what if houses magically cost $2,500? Here's another question for you guys. How many houses would you buy if you could rent them out for $1,000 a month if they cost you $2,500? Give me a number. If you guys could buy houses for $2,500 and rent them for $1,000 a month, how many houses would you buy? 50? 100? All of them? Like as many as you could, right? But today, guys, digital properties, okay, websites can be far better investments than real estate because lower acquisition costs means less risk. Just like a business doesn't want to take risk, and neither do you. Nobody wants to take too much risk, right? So how do you build digital properties for only $50 in just 2 hours? I'm sure you guys are thinking that right now, and that is section 2, my simple 4-step FBRR method. I'm going to show you guys how to build these digital assets for less than $50 that can pay you $12K per year each, right? So the FBRR method, guys, is just 4 core steps, okay? And they are these. Number 1, FBRR stands for find, build, rank, rent. So find a profitable and easy to rank niche, right? Then you build a tiny, inexpensive website. Then you rank it on the first page of Google so it generates leads. Then you rent it to a business for $500 to $1,500 per month, depending on the value of the leads. Okay, 4 steps: find, build, rank, rent. So let's go over these steps. Okay, step 1, find a golden niche keyword that is profitable and easy to rank. Profitable means that lots of people are searching for that keyword on Google and it's in a profitable industry, right? Easy to rank means that the first page of Google for that keyword has little to no competition so that you can rank your website easily, right? Here's a couple examples, guys. Okay, the keyword catering in Stamford, Connecticut. The keyword is catering Stamford, Connecticut, but the service is catering, the location is Stamford, Connecticut. About 260 people a month are searching for that keyword, and I'll show you how to find this information in a bit. Businesses are paying almost $4 a click for people who are searching for that keyword. And the average catering job, we have to come up with a number, and this can be a wide range, but the average catering job is around $3 grand. I paid $6,000 for my caterer at my wedding, right? And on the right, you see a picture of my website, cateringstanfordconnecticut.com, ranking number 1 above the maps, and I'll prove that live in a bit. But I want to show you guys how to analyze how much rent can it get before you spend any money. You want to know how much rent can it get, okay? So what you're looking at here, guys, is a calculator that helps you determine how much money you could be making with this before you ever waste time going after it. And it goes like this, okay? The first thing right here, guys, if you can see my mouse, is you have to enter the search volume of the main keyword, right? So I'm going to go back here. So it's 260, right? So we entered 260, and that says, okay, the expected visits to your site, if you're ranking number 1 to number 3 in Google, is going to be about 50 to 80 visits per month to your site from that keyword, depending on if you rank number 1, 2, or 3. But we have to break things down. Not everybody who visits your site is going to pick up the phone and call the number, right? That's called a conversion. So the estimated calls, if we can convert 20%, 1 in 5 visitors into a phone call, that means we can generate between 9 and 17 phone calls per month. But not everybody who picks up the phone is going to become a new client. But if you can convert, once again, about 20% or 1 in 5 of those phone calls into someone who actually becomes a customer, that means you could be sending this business between 2 and 3 new customers per month. Okay, so if the average catering job is around $3,000, those 2 to 3 new customers are worth about $5,500 to $10,000 a month to that business, okay? But you gotta do one last breakdown. If you're gonna be able to generate a business between $5,600 and $9,900 per month, how much are you gonna charge them to do it? Considering they have costs too, they have overhead, employees, right? Not everything's pure profit, but if you ask them for just 10%, right? A very small margin. That means that keyword ranking number 1 to number 3 in Google is worth to you about $560 to $998 per month. Does that breakdown make sense to you guys, how I did that? Give me a 1 if you understand that breakdown, because we got to break it all the way down. Awesome. Give me a 2 if you missed it. If you're like, I don't really understand what you just did there. I do talk fast, I know that. But everybody seems to get it, right? And the reason we use this calculator, guys, we don't want to waste our time messing things up, right? So let me give you one more quick example. I'm going to move faster. A different keyword, pool resurfacing Phoenix. The search volume, people are searching for this keyword about 260 times per month. Businesses are paying about $10 a click for that keyword. The average pool resurfacing job is more expensive than a catering job. Okay, and once again, here's a screenshot of my site ranking #1 in Google above the maps. We'll go live in a bit and show you that. But this one breaks down pretty much the same because the search volume is the same. The only thing that changes here is pool resurfacing jobs on average can be more expensive than caterers. So this site ranking #1 to 3 can bring 47 to 83 visits to the site, which will turn into 9 to 17 calls per month, which will turn into 2 or 3 new customers per month, which will generate that business between $93,000 and $16,600 per month. And if you ask for 10% of their revenue as your fee for doing it, you can ask for $930 to $1,600 per month for this, okay? Now this calculator isn't gonna be like 100% perfect and that's what's gonna actually happen. It's just meant to help you make a decision before wasting time and money. And I'm gonna give you access to that calculator in a bit. Okay, all right, so the next question is, well, how do we find these golden niche keywords? Catering, Stamford, Connecticut, pool resurfacing Phoenix, right? Guys, using my golden niche keyword sniper software, enter any niche like catering or any city like Stamford and set pre-filters that I'm going to give you, and the software is going to spit out anywhere from 100 to 1,000 potentially profitable niche keywords, and it's going to look like this, and it takes less than 1 minute to get these lists. So in this list, you can see the keyword was Phoenix, and what it spit out was niches like this: bathroom remodelers, pain management, real estate agents, moving companies, lawyers, right? Marriage counselors, real estate agencies. You can see all the search volumes, you can see all the CPCs in less than a minute, right? Now, from those profitable keyword results, I'm going to give you a niche selection checklist to make sure that the keyword that you're looking at is actually easy to rank. We know it's already profitable, but now I'm going to give you a checklist that you can go to Google, put that keyword in, and just work your way down the checklist to make sure that it's also easy to rank, right? Once you do that, guys, you now have your perfect golden niche keyword that meets the 2 ingredients. It's profitable and it's easy to rank. Now, if I gave you access to both this software and that checklist, do you think you could follow my simple instructions? Type yes in the chat. Have I made it seem clear enough? Do you think you could follow those instructions? Yeah, sure, right? I already broke it down. So step 2 of the FBRR method, guys, is build a 3 to 5 page website for less than $50. And I know you're thinking, buddy, you're nuts, right? I know you're thinking that. So what you're going to do now is you're going to register that golden niche keyword that you found as a domain name, and you're going to connect it to Cheap Hosting. That takes about 5 minutes, right? The domain name is going to cost you $10 because it's a brand new domain. You're going to find hundreds, and Cheap Hosting is about $40 a year. Now, you guys are mathematicians here, obviously. What is 10 plus 40? I know there's so many stupid questions on the webinar, but there's a reason I'm asking them. What is 10 plus 40? Yes, it's 50. How much did I tell you it's going to cost to build these websites? 50. Yeah, I know. There's more cost involved. We're going to cover that. Okay, so what you're going to do next, guys, is you're going to one-click install a free local business website template. This takes another 5 minutes so that you can have a website with a design, right? And we have over 150 niche website templates that I'm going to share with you a little bit later. And then you're going to add content to the pages on your website, the 3 to 5 pages, right? In an easy to follow format that's going to help you rank extremely fast in Google. And the best part is, guys, I'm going to show you where to get unlimited free content. I hope your ears are perking up here, right? You're never going to have to write a single word yourself. And this entire process, guys, takes me less than 2 hours. And I've been doing this a while, obviously, so I can do it very, very fast. For you, when you're just starting, maybe it's going to take you 3 to 4 hours, even 5 hours when you first start. But like me, guys, you are going to get faster with time because you only have to learn how to do things one time, then you just know. Meaning, guys, that you can find a niche and build a site that can make you $1,000 a month in under 2 hours total, or even under 5 hours total, right? Even if it takes you 5 hours and you rent it out for $1,000 a month, that's pretty awesome, okay? That's gonna give you a recurring income that's gonna last years, guys. I've had clients that have been with me for years. They just, as long as you provide them what they want, they will pay you what you ask. So let me ask you a question, guys. If you could make $12,000 per year for working 2 to 4 hours total, depending on how fast you work, how many hours a week would you be willing to work at this? If you could make $12,000 per year for working 2 to 4 hours total, how many hours a week would you be willing to work at this? This is basically a question of how much time can you put into this business, or are willing to put into this business. Somebody said all of them. No more Netflix and chilling, right? It's how you invest your time that provides the results of your future. So guys, step 3 of the FBRR method is rank your website on the first page of Google. We built it, we found the keyword, we built the website, now we have to rank it on Google. This part doesn't take much effort at all, guys, because at this point, we actually do very little work to rank these websites except build a few backlinks, right? In fact, I'm going to give you my proven process that allows me to outrank million-dollar brands in Google with far less backlinks, saving you countless hours and dollars. So do you guys want to see this? Do you want to go live on Google? I'll show you how I can beat people with less links. I'll prove it. I did say I wanted to prove it to you guys. All right, let's go live on Google, okay? I'm going to go to google.com live. Okay, I'm going to type in that example keyword, catering, Stamford, Connecticut. We know about 260 people search a month. There's my website, ranking #1 on Google. If you want to take a peek, go look for yourself. It's a quick little 3-page website. Okay, it's not loading right now. There we go. Okay, and it's beating everybody else on Google. So we need to look at the links, right? And I don't know if you guys understand links or not, but let's look at the links, because links help you rank. Give me a 1 if you understand that links help you rank. Give me a 2 if you're not really sure how that all works. Awesome. Most of you guys know this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Moz bar. Okay, it's a free Chrome extension, and Moz just gives us a measure of the power, trust, and authority of the links going to the website. So I'm going to go down here. Okay, and we're going to look at these million-dollar brands, and those are going to be like big authority sites like Yelp, right? The Knot, which is a big wedding site, Event Detective, a big wedding site, right? Million-dollar brands, Home Advisor, Angie's List, Better Business Bureau, right? And they have these like super high domain authority, which is a measure. Domain authority is a Moz metric, and it's measuring the power, the authority, and the trust, and the number of links pointing to the entire domain. Page authority is a Moz metric where they're measuring the power, the trust, and the authority, and the number of links pointing to the page, right, on the website, okay? So let's quickly look at DA properties. We have 93, 51, 23, 26, 20, 56, and this guy down here with the 9. Well, let's look at the Moz of my site. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have a domain authority of 5. That's the lowest number on the first page, okay? Let's look at page authorities. Okay, page authority 46, page authority 36, 35, 30, 33, 32, 25, right? And then links, we have like 160, 1,000,000, 800, 300, 3,000, 500,000, 385 million, right? How many do I have? Well, 41, but I didn't actually build 41 links. I built 6, and some of those are site-wide links. So how is it that I have less links, less power, yet I'm ranking above everybody else on the first page with less links, less power? That's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do. Okay, does that make sense? I'm going to teach you that. All right. So to this point, the full process of the FBRR method: find a profitable, easy to rank niche, build a tiny, inexpensive website, rank it on the first page of Google by using less links than everybody else to get better results, right? And then the final step we're going to cover in section number 3, because this is where you're going to make all the money, And this is section 3, how to seduce any business into handing you a $1,000 paycheck every single month with no risk to them and no risk to you. And once again, I'm going to start this with a question, guys. Would you be comfortable getting on the phone to pitch a business this idea? Say yes if you are comfortable with getting on the phone. Say no if you'd rather not, get on the phone. See a couple yeses, and here come the no's. Yeah, and this is natural. Most people are like, no, I don't really want to get on the phone to pitch a business, right? I don't like that idea, right? Let me ask you a new question. Would you be comfortable now if a business owner asked you to call them? So for all you guys that said no, okay, August, I can't quite pronounce that name, but like all you guys that said no, would you be comfortable getting on the phone if the business said, can you call me? Okay, so here we go. We just turned you all around. Somebody said, well, August, you said better, right? Yeah, major improvement, right? Why? Removal of risk, baby, right? You just removed the risk of the phone call when the business owner asked you to call them. So guys, I want to quickly play you a sales call that I recently recorded. This is a live call. Just let me play this for you real quick, okay? Live sales call. It's coming on right now.
It's Arnold.
Hey Arnold, it's Herc calling.
Who?
It's Herc from Facebook. I'm the guy with the leads, all those pool leads that you want to talk to.
The world we live in, nobody wants to talk anymore. Everybody wants to message me. You'd be amazed at how many people message me and go, how much for a pool? And I reply, $1 million. Or you can call me and I'll give you a better deal. My landscaper just showed up. So, in a nutshell, give me what do you do?
Well, basically, man, what I got is I build websites, right? And I got a website for pool resurfacing in Phoenix, and it's ranked all over Phoenix for all the pool resurfacing keywords. And generally, it's generated 370 calls over the year, so it's about 30 calls a month for pool resurfacing jobs, though. Do you guys do that?
Okay. Yeah, I have 8 divisions. We do everything in the backyard.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna give you I'm gonna ask you brass tacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much?
What I'd like to do is I'd like to get $1,000 a month and just send all the calls your way and rebrand the site to your company.
So, is it month to month?
Yeah, and you could, if you don't like it, you can cancel. There's no contracts. Just I'll send you phone calls. You pay the rental fee.
So let me ask you this: what if we did half down and then half at the end of the month to see if it works?
Absolutely.
I've been down this path, and I had 2 people fucking ghost me.
Oh really?
You know
No.
what I mean?
Listen, like that's why I was saying, like, look, if you want, because I'm pretty legit, right? So if you want it, I'll send you the first 10 callers for free, just so you can see that I'm legitimate, right? I have no problem doing that.
Totally do that, because I'm going to talk to my sales and marketing manager tomorrow.
Yeah.
Send me what you got, because I'm looking for something, and that dollar amount hits my price point.
Okay, so
I had one guy that was on Facebook, and he was at $400 a month, and now he's at freaking almost $8,000.
yeah, and I don't even know what these guys are doing or selling, but everything that I do is like, I'll send you reports, I'll send you notifications of calls. You know what I mean? Like, so you'll 100% know that every call that I'm generating is actually coming from me, and that way you'll be able to determine, is this worth it or is it not worth it? You know what I mean?
Sending me the 10 leads. What do you need? You need my email, or are you just going to send them to my phone?
Yeah, just send me the phone number that you want the calls to start ringing, and what I'll do is I'll set it up so that it says, "Hey Arnold, here's a call from her."
Right here.
So this 8513.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I'll set it up for you, and then
And
I'll.
I'm not trying to be quick and short with you, brother. I got a landscaper look at me in my eye in my backyard, and he's been sitting here waiting for me for 10 minutes.
Not a problem. Not a problem, man. All I need is that
All
number.
right,
I'll start
let's
sending
do
you
this.
calls. Okay, sounds good, man.
Yeah, you rock.
Okay,
What's your name?
Herc
Kirk?
with an H. Herc, like Hercules.
Hercules. Okay, Hercules. Yeah, Hercules. All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Bye.
All right, did you guys hear that? Give me a yes if you heard that. How awesome was that? Great call. Yes. Okay. So did you hear how easily I closed a $1,000 per month deal? And in fact, he offered me money right away. He said, I'll give you $500 right now and $500 at the end of the month, right? And I turned him down. I said, no, don't worry about it. Let me send you free leads first, right? Because I want to build a ton of value into this guy. I want to make him my best friend and I want me to be his best friend. And I don't know if you guys heard, he said, I have 8 divisions in the backyard. Landscaping, pool resurfacing, anything to do with pools, right? And I'll tell you this, guys, that client has got me on now doing everything that he's got. And all of that, guys, that's $12,000 per year in my pocket from one 3.5-minute phone call, right? Rick said, awesome. Mark's like, great. August, that's a great call. Yeah, and I wanted to play that for you to show you how easy this can be, right? Businesses love this stuff because I got the business owner to ask me to call him, right? He was already sold. He just needed to hear the right price for the offer. Okay, so let me teach you how to do that right now. Every sales process involves just 3 steps. Okay, step 1 is prospecting, and that's finding a list of qualified buyers, which is businesses who want more leads, which is almost every business, right? Step 2 is pitching, explaining your offer to the business. And step 3 is closing, which is negotiating the deal or the price, right? So step 1, prospecting for qualified buyers with this model is dead simple because every business on page 2 to 100 of Google for your golden niche keyword is a qualified prospect because the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google. We all know that if your business ain't on page 1, goodbye, right? So these businesses are not generating any leads, but that's exactly what you have to offer them. So you just need to find their contact info and send your pitch, right? The only downside to this is it can be kind of time consuming to do it all manually, but I'm going to show you guys how to find hundreds of qualified prospects in just a few minutes and make your pitch to all of them with just a few clicks. And I'll give you a hint. We built a software for it, right? Now, skipping ahead a bit to step 3, closing or negotiating a deal, it's also quite simple, just like you heard on that recording, right? Because once a business owner wants to talk to you, it's because they're already pre-sold and they want to negotiate. You already have what they want, more leads, and you can offer them a risk-free way to get them with a free sample, right? But step 2, pitching the business, is the hardest step, and it's also the most important step because your initial pitch is going to make or break your success. So in order to successfully pitch a qualified buyer, you can't just start with an offer. You can't just try to sell something. You have to actually first convince them to hear your sales pitch, and this is called the pre-pitch. And this part can be really hard because every business is contacted daily with pitches to help grow their business, right? So type yes if you guys got pitched on Facebook or email in the last week. Did someone reach out to you to sell you something? Give me a 1 if that happened to you in the last week alone. I get tons of them, right? Yeah, here come the ones, okay? So type yes if you didn't even know the person that was pitching you. You didn't give them their permission to pitch you. They just started pitching you. Now type buy if you bought something off them. Nobody's saying anything, right? Nobody buys anything off those kind of pitches, right? So you don't want to do that. It doesn't work. Most pitches are sales pitches, and that involves too much risk for any business because they don't know you, they don't trust you, and they're not going to spend their money with you, right? So businesses have become pitch blind and they ignore most of the initial outreach, right? So how do you seduce a business owner into wanting you to call them and willingly listen to your real pitch? Okay, you pre-pitch them. And I use 2 pre-pitch methods. I teach both of these, okay? Method 1 is called an EQ method. Method 2 is called an FBQ method. For that guy on the phone, I use the FBQ method. The EQ method is a simple 4-word email. You won't even believe it, right? It's a 4-word email. The open rates of these emails are almost 100% and the response rates are amazing. It's unbelievable how many businesses respond to this email, right? The EQ method involves no selling, no offers of any kind, but the businesses who respond will often willingly tell you if they want your leads and how much they're willing to pay for them. They just give it up because of what you say in the email, right? So from there, you'll be able to call them and make your actual sales pitch, and the business will want to hear it because you're doing it correctly. The FBQ method is a simple Facebook post on community-based Facebook groups, right? And once again, it involves no selling and no offers to the businesses. And with the FBQ method, businesses will actually raise their hand by responding to your post, right? They'll show interest. And others that see this will actually tag businesses or people that they know for you on your post, which is going to further your reach even more. And when you respond to those businesses, you're going to do it in a way that flips the script, which seduces them into wanting you to call them so that they can hear your sales pitch, right? Now, with those two methods, guys, you're finally going to have a way to easily get qualified businesses asking you to call them because they want to hear your sales pitch. And I call this entire process, guys, seductive selling, and it doesn't even involve selling at all, right? It just positions you properly. Everything's about positioning. Now, guys, you're going to get full access to my entire sales process today, as well as my exact blueprint for how to build a passive income using the rank and rent model, okay? Now, we're getting close to the end here, guys, but I want to play one more video for you about the rank and rent model and what a couple of my students think specifically about this model.
I love this model, this rank and rent model, because you own all of the assets. Like, you own the website, you own everything that you're building. With doing social media, you don't really own that. You're doing all of this work for a client and they can let you go whenever they wish, but you don't really have anything to show for it, not even money coming in every month.
So it's so different than Facebook ads and the things I've done in the past where I have to go to a business owner and ask for thousands of dollars up front. This is completely different. You literally set it up, you start getting results, and you just go to the business owner and say, hey, this is what I've got. This is how many calls it's generating a month. It's so much easier. It's such an easier process, and it's more enjoyable because the business owners are usually just kind of blown away by what you're bringing them.
What I really like about the rank and rent business model is that you don't have to sell it on the front end. You don't have to go into the business and ask for their money before you rank their site, before you've gotten them any results, before you've brought any business through the doors. You don't actually have to go to them and sell to them directly at that point. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like to sell. I'm really more of an introvert, and I really don't like to get out there and talk to people and network as much. So this was perfect for me in those terms. It was right up my alley.
All right, guys, so there you go. Other students, they love this model, okay? So let me ask you a couple questions, guys. Before today, have you heard of the rank and rent model? Type yes if you've heard of it, type no if you haven't. Just kind of want to see who's actually heard of this model before or not. Okay. Couple people yes, couple people no. Well, are you glad you came to the presentation today to either learn about it or to learn my take on it? Just say yes or no. Absolutely. Awesome. So do you believe now, after everything you've heard, that this is a foolproof model to start your own recurring digital asset business? No risk, low risk, low barrier to entry, pressure free, all the good stuff, right? My trial and error, my Anthony Robbins moment. You guys can copy what I do, right? If you did everything that I shared with you today, do you think there's a chance you could be successful with this? If I can show you everything step by step? And more importantly, I think this is the most important question, guys. Do you feel like I would be an excellent mentor to teach you every single step? Because it's important that you like the person you're learning from. It helps you absorb and it helps you learn better. Some people just resonate well with others and some people don't. Hopefully I resonate well with you guys, right? And thank you. Lots of yeses on that question. Thank you so much, guys. So are you seriously considering doing this, but you still have some lingering questions? Type Q if you're like, I got questions, buddy. Well, Q or two, I guess. Okay. So yes, I do know how you feel. okay? There's no way I can absolutely cover everything in a 60-minute presentation. This is like a lifetime of building up to this point, and I can't cover my entire life in 60 minutes. That's why I do want to run together through the offer that I'm putting out for you guys. That's going to enable you to implement everything that I teach step by step. So let me introduce to you the Rank and Rent Club software and training package, okay? So the first thing you're going to get, okay, is my golden niche keyword sniper software. We used to call it hunting, but it's more like sniping because you're going to probably hit the jackpot almost every single time. This software was built by my team, me and Todd and my team, for this exact process. It's not your typical keyword research tool. It's meant for this process. With this tool, you're going to be able to find an unlimited number of golden niche keywords in any industry, anywhere in the world. You're going to be able to target any industry you want, make a solid monthly income from it. You're going to find what you're looking for almost every single time in just minutes, right? You'll be able to instantly register these domains with one click right from within the software. And if you become a domain hoarder, which I've seen so many people go down the path, they find so many good keyword domains, they register them all, become hoarders. Well, you can always flip those to other people for 100 to 200 bucks a piece. All you have to do is include a little package that says this keyword is this is why it's good, put together the calculator that I'm going to give you and say, sell it like that. People do it all the time. Okay, you can get rid of any other keyword research tools you might already be paying for because it does a lot of what they do, but it does this very, very well. And that could potentially save you 100 bucks a month, hundreds per month, right? So we're going to include the golden niche keyword sniper software. What's the next thing that you're going to need? We're going to give you a 30 website hosting package with SSL certificates included, which means you're not even going to have to pay for hosting. And if you currently have other sites on other hostings, you can get rid of it, move to us, and that'll save you even more money every month, okay? With this hosting, guys, even if you only rent out 10 of the 30 websites in this package at $1,000 per month per website, that's $120,000 a year business, right? And you still have room for 20 more clients. This is easily worth 1,200 bucks a year, guys. Like I said, cheap hosting is around 40 bucks a year. We're going to give you 30 sites. 30 times 40 is 1,200. So that's going to be included in this. What else do you need? Well, we're not all web designers or developers, are we? And you might be thinking, I don't know how to build a website, let alone design a website, right? So I'm going to give you 150 4-page local business website templates that you can one-click install, right? So with this, you can one-click install mobile-friendly websites and choose from 150 high-profit niches. Take advantage of the free drag and drop page builder to add your own content so that no coding or design skills are needed. You could even sell the websites to clients and it takes you a few minutes to install and build them. That could potentially net you thousands, okay? And then right now, if you have web designers doing your stuff, you can get rid of them and save you even thousands more, right? I don't know. Now, we have a lot of niches, and I used to ask people to say niches, but I'm just going to go through this list quick and randomly read out a bunch of niches, okay? Accounting, auto repair, boiler installations, builders, window tinting, baby care, appliances, architects, artificial grass, bathrooms, kitchens, car rentals, car insurance, car dealers, carpenters, boat rentals, asphalt paving, asbestos, carpet cleaning, caterers, credit repairs, dog breeders, dog walkers, dentists, commercial printers, cleaners, chiropractors, distance movers, elder care, garage doors, home maintenance, electricians, foundation repairs, flooring, florists, gyms, handymans, gutter installations, gutter cleanings, hypnotherapists, martial arts, magicians, landscapers, lead gens, pest controls, mobile mechanics, locksmiths, plumbers, restaurants, SEO agencies, solar, roofing, potable toilets, real estate, termites, therapists, tree services, towing, water restoration, tutors. As you can see, guys, we have 150. There's a ton of them. You're going to get all 150 templates that can be used on your own websites or client websites, okay? That template club, guys, normally costs $997 a year, but we're going to include that as well. What else do you need? You're going to need to know how to quickly and easily get content for your sites in any industry, right? That's going to help you rank your sites faster. So I'm going to give you guys my content training courses that teaches you the quickest and easiest way to get quality ranking content 100% absolutely free. Free content, okay? Free content. This is not available anywhere else on the planet, so I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know, it's completely priceless. If I were to sell it, I could charge $1,000 and sell it every day because we all know how much content writers cost. We all know how much content tools cost, right? So I know I could sell that easily, but that's going to be included today. And we're getting close now, but I'm sure there's more that you need. What about the best on-page SEO software on the planet? And yes, of course, I am biased because Todd and I developed this with our team from our years of experience and process. We literally built the software for the process that we're doing it. And that's what makes it different. This software is going to give you the ability to spy on and copy your competitors' keywords, pages, optimizations with one click, right? In just a couple of clicks, you're going to know exactly how to quickly and easily optimize any website, all from a single easy to use dashboard, right? Using my software, guys, your sites are going to rank faster. They're going to stick longer in Google, which is going to make you more money every single month on complete autopilot. We do sell our software for $697 a year, and it can be used as a far better replacement to typically Rank Math or Yoast, right? And if you have those, you can switch over to ours, cancel that bill, and save even more money, right? You're going to get that today as well. Okay, our SEO software. And what else do you need? Let's see. You're going to need a few backlinks, right, to push your sites to the top of page one. Now, the thing about backlinks, guys, is if you do it wrong, okay, and a lot of people do it wrong, you could spend thousands of dollars trying to rank your sites and it will never happen and you won't even know why. But I'm going to teach you my way about backlinks. I'm going to teach you how to do it right so that you can beat your most fierce competitors with far less links, just like I showed you live, right? Far less links than them, but you'll beat them every time. So this is going to help you do it in the most cost-effective way so that you're making money from your websites instead of spending money on your backlinks like some sort of Yahoo, right? My link training sells for $1,000, guys, but I'm going to include it in this package today, and it is essential if you want to take on even bigger money industries, basically more competitive stuff, and those you can earn a lot more than $1,000 a month once you know what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to include that as well. And then finally, guys, to tie everything together, because I know that we're throwing a lot of stuff together here, you're going to get access to the Rank and Rent Club, where we packaged up everything that you're getting into a members only online classroom where you'll have 24/7 access to every single lesson that I teach, organized into step-by-step, paint-by-numbers modules so that you can easily follow my blueprint to success, just like Anthony Robbins told you to do, right? You want to be successful? Copy someone who's successful, okay? This classroom is going to allow you to learn at a pace that's right for you because you have 24/7 access, right? And it's going to look like this, where you can see the main modules along the bottom: find, build, rank, rent, FBRR method, baby. So it's in this club, guys, that you're going to find your home base and be able to network with over 5,000 other rank and renters. You're going to have access to a members only private forum, right? You'll also have access to a members only private Facebook group. All these people, guys, are on the same path as you, so you'll be able to get help. You'll be able to get people answering your questions. You'll be able to share strategies, right, when you're in this club. And private access to the club, guys, we sell it for $897 a year, but that is also being included today. That is a total value of $4,488 per year, plus the $1,994 in one-time fees. You're getting over $6,000 of value today, and absolutely everything you need to build your own rank and rent business. Now, our regular price, guys, to get started is $2,497, $2,500, but not today, right? And even at $2,500, I asked you guys, how many houses would you build if they cost $2,500? And a lot of you said all of them, right? So even at $2,497, guys, that's an incredible offer, because just one website can earn $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year, and you'd be in profit after just 10 weeks. That's an incredible return, but we understand that $2,497 is a lot of money for most people, and it might keep you from getting started today. So we also offer a split pay option, which we normally sell for $747 as a split pay, but I still want to make this even more affordable for you. So if you guys decide to get started with me today, I want to knock $1,000 off the price and give you two options to get started today, okay? Option one, I want to give you a $250 coupon for our split pay, our 4-pay, okay? And you'll get access to everything that I showed you and be able to get started today for just $497. I'm going to drop a link in your chat right now. Here we go. Okay, guys, there's the link that you can go to get started for $497 today, right? Option 1, guys, is going to give you the lowest entry price possible. But if you are really serious and you do see the long-term value in my software and training, option 2, I'm going to give you a $1,000 coupon for our 1-pay, and you'll be able to get started for $1497 today. Okay, the 1-pay saves you an additional $497 payment versus the 4-pay. You now have 2 amazing options to get started, and you're going to save $1,000 either way, guys, in your first 12 months. If you rent out just one site for $1,000 a month, your entire payment is covered today with just 2 rental payments, right? Actually, if you buy the $497 and you rent out a site, you're already in profit, right? Over 12 months, guys, it pays you back 8x. You're getting everything that you need to potentially build your own $100,000 a year rank and rent business for as low as $497 today. And if you buy while we're still live right now, I also want to include 2 fast action bonuses. Fast action bonus number 1 is my own personal prospecting software that Todd and I built, right? This software is going to help you find all those qualified buyers that are dead bodies on page 2, right? So to prospect your rank and rent properties too. The software enables you to use any keyword you like pool resurfacing Phoenix or catering Stamford, Connecticut, to scan Google's results, and it's going to go to the websites and find all their contact details, their contact forms, their email addresses, their phone numbers, their Facebook pages. It's going to bring it all back for you in minutes, right? And it allows you to send any message you want to every business with just a few clicks. And that's going to save you countless hours of manual labor, right? Like I said, it can be tedious to prospect, but this is going to make it easy and fast. That software normally costs $297 a year, but it's included as fast action bonus number 1. So that's also being added on. And now to make that prospecting bonus make more sense, right? Fast action bonus number 2 are the personal sales scripts, the EQ and FBQ method. Those are the methods that I use to get people to ask me to call them, right? Using these methods, guys, you're never going to have to cold call. If you don't like getting on the phone, use EQ and FBQ. People will say, can you call me, right? And they'll only ever get on the phone with you once they ask you to call them. Those are happy calls, right? Just like Arnold. So I could easily sell those methods for $997, guys, because they close deals all day long. They turn bad calls into happy calls. That fast action bonus is being included, okay? So with the additional bonuses, we're now at a value of $47.85 per year, plus $2,900 in one-time fees. So we're now at over $7,500 of everything you need to succeed, and you can get access today for just $497. But I want to add one more killer bonus, okay? Fast action bonus number 3 is our live masterclass monthly access. So what this is every single month I hold a live masterclass where you're going to be able to join me live on a webinar just like this one. It'll be a different format. You're going to be able to watch me build rank and rent sites from scratch, right? Right from, okay, guys, let's go find a keyword and register a domain, all the way to, guys, we're getting on the phone to sell it, right? And because you're going to be on live with me personally on these trainings, you'll be able to ask me any questions that you still might have and get my personal attention, right? I don't give this out anymore. This is the closest thing that I offer now to a one-on-one coaching, which I used to offer for $297 an hour, but I don't anymore. Okay, live masterclasses are also recorded, so you're also going to have access to all past sessions, right? So after watching the live masterclasses, guys, you will know exactly how to build a site 100% by yourself with the confidence to do it right the first time. Because one thing I know about people and the guys that do this, a lot of people want to get it right away. They don't want to waste time. And live masterclasses are going to help you with that, right? So finally, guys, you're going to have the ability and knowledge to target any industry you want and have a perfectly built site up in just a few hours. So imagine what life's going to be like when you can build a new lead gen site whenever you feel like it, right? Because that's what Masterclass is going to help you to do. So guys, that's the offer. There are even more ways to profit with rank and rent websites, okay? I just want to outline them. You can rent it out, which is what we covered today. You can flip them to a business, right? So you could just always say, listen, you want to just buy it and put a multiple 24 to 32x on it and sell it to the business. You could flip it to another rank and renter who wants the site. A lot of times you'll build sites, change your mind, want to go another direction. So you could just come into our Facebook group. There's like thousands of people in there, and people do this all the time. They'd be like, I want to sell this site, someone else will buy it, right? So you can flip it to another person. You can sell the leads individually to a local business rather than doing the monthly rental. Personally, I like the monthly rental. You can sell the leads to CPL networks, cost per lead networks. You can even use this rank and rent strategy to bring leads to your own business, right? So this is not just an income opportunity, guys, right? It's not just a like, let's learn how to make money, right? I want to assure you guys that the SEO skills that you're about to acquire will make you an absolute beast, right? Because what I'm going to teach you guys is fundamental SEO knowledge, fundamentals, right? The first rank and rent guide that I ever wrote outlined the process of a site that I built. It's still ranking #1 today, 7 years later. And with the education that you're going to receive in SEO, you can apply it to any model of SEO, right? Once you learn the rank and rent model, you can become an agency. You can become a badass affiliate. You can do e-com, right? You can evolve into anything you want. Don't do it like me and start with the hard stuff and evolve to the easy stuff. Start with the easy stuff and evolve to the harder stuff. Maybe you won't, I don't know. But I'll tell you this, guys, rank and rent is the only model that you can learn SEO without any risk, any fear, or any pressure on a tiny budget. You can't do that with affiliate, and you can't do that with an agency. With rank and rent, you still have a massive profitable upside when you do get it right. So do you guys get it? That's pretty much it, guys. You have a few more minutes, okay, to make up your mind about everything before you miss out. This is the entire what you're getting today. The Golden Niche Keyword Sniper software that's going to help you find. The 30 website hosting with free SSLs is build. 150 local business templates is build. Remember, I'm talking about find, build, rank, rent. The content training is in the build section. The SEO software is going to help you rank, find, build, rank. The link building training is going to help you rank. The Rank and Rent Club membership is your online classroom where you're going to be able to learn everything. Fast action bonus, right, is going to be your rent, because that's going to give you the ability to contact prospects using methods that have businesses that want you to call them. That's going to help you rent your sites. And then the live masterclass monthly access, guys, that's just you're plugging into the community, staying relevant with me every single month, right? So for the next few minutes, while you guys are signing up, I'm going to give my throat a break because I've been talking for about an hour. I am going to play a video with some of our happy customers, and then I'm going to come back and answer any questions that you guys might have. So I'll leave this screen up here, and then I'll play this video. It's about 6 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys?
Yo, guess what? I just closed 2 clients in one niche, and I closed another client in the other niche. We're talking about 3 clients closed today off those free trials we were talking about a couple weeks ago. And guess what? All the calls are recorded, baby. Let's go. Awesome, man.
Hey, my name's Kristen Fairchild. I am a Rank and Rant full club member. I just closed a deal with an office who has 9 other offices in the state that I'm in, and they said, yeah, go set it up for those offices too. You can have these 10 offices starting out. And so for my first Rank and Rent deal, I feel like that's a pretty good one. It's pretty exciting, pretty solid. I literally had zero knowledge about SEO or anything Google related when I signed up for Rank and Rent. So it's so different than Facebook ads and the things I've done in the past where I have to go to a business owner and ask for thousands of dollars up front. This is completely different. You literally set it up, you start getting results, and you just go to the business owner and say, hey, this is what I've got. This is how many calls it's generating a month. it's so much easier. It's such an easier process, and it's more enjoyable because the business owners are usually just kind of blown away by what you're bringing them. It's an amazing program. I would invest in it 10 times over. Really, really recommend it. So yeah, that's what I've got.
Hey, this is Matthew Bennett in Denver, Colorado. Just want to thank Herc a lot for helping me a lot and finally getting some success on the internet. I've already made a couple of $1,000s off of the leads. So finally, I've gotten some success on the internet and internet marketing. I started out trying to build an agency, but with no case studies and with doubting my ability to actually generate leads, I struggled to sign up clients. So I switched to the rank and rent method and I started following Herc. And from him, I have actually finally gotten some success. I have 4 lead gen sites out now. One is in the top 3 for all of its keywords for a very, very competitive keyword in the home services industry. And I have the other 3 are in the top 5 for their respective keywords. And it's a pretty competitive niche. Those cities are a little bit easier to rank in. And Herc has really simplified it to where just this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do to get results. And then you can just kind of take action from there. So very thankful. Thanks a lot for all the help you've provided the community and myself, Herc. Thanks a lot.
How's it going, y'all? My name is Nick, and I am a full-time Rank and Rent Club member. Before I got involved in Rank and Rent Club, I had very little knowledge of SEO and web design. I had built a couple of Squarespace pages, and the only thing I knew about SEO was things I'd watched from YouTube videos. I really didn't have any knowledge of how any of this works. No idea of how to get, a page or a keyword to rank #1 in Google. I have managed to build and rank 2 websites using the tools and training from Herc and Todd. Using what I've learned in this program, I've managed to build 3 other client websites, not my own websites, but 3 websites for clients, just by giving them examples of things that I've learned in this program. I have bought many trainings before, but this is the one where I feel like I have got the most value out of all of the money that I've spent for it. If you're on the fence about joining this program, by all means, just do it. It'll take you years to learn the things that you're going to need to know in order to do this. Everything you need is in this program. Herc and Todd have put together a masterful program for you. If you just follow it, just follow what these guys say, and you will get the results that you're looking for.
Hey Herc, Larry Coke here again. I just checked the site a while ago, and that site now is at the top of page 1 of Google for its search term. And I know that I already have somebody who's interested in that. For once I get to page 1, they say they'll be interested in buying leads from that site from me. So those of you who are watching, whatever Herc says, just do it. As you always say, take some action. There is a saying that we like to say here in the earth that knowledge is power. Well, I'm here to tell you that is wrong. That is so incorrect. It is an application of knowledge that is power. So whatever you get from these webinars with Herc, you write it down and do not let it be just head knowledge. You write it down and you apply what you have learned and you will see results. So thank you again, Herc. Thank you, Todd, and thank you for the team behind you guys. Thank you so much for giving us value. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Hi, this is Vince Moriali from Parkland, Florida, and this is a big shout out for Herc and Todd of the Rank and Rent Club. Back in 2015, Herc put out a guide, a Rank and Rent guide, which I followed. So I actually went out there, did my keyword research, did all of my niche hunting, built the site, I ranked it, and I'm running it out. I've been running it out for the last 5 years. So I highly encourage you to check it out. But I do it not just for the passive income, the money that comes in every month. Again, thank you very much, Herc and Todd. I'll be with you guys for a long, long time. It's been 5 years already, so thank you very much. And looking forward to more good times together. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, how's it going? Todd Spears here. I just wanted to come on here for a minute and introduce myself and let Herc take a little bit of a break. He's been talking for the last hour and a half. So I'm Herc's business partner, and I just wanted to give you a brief introduction about myself. I know you probably heard my name being mentioned in those testimonials and throughout the presentation a little bit here and there. So yeah, you know what? I can't, every time I hear those testimonials, you know, I just kind of get goosebumps to know that all the people that have been with us over the last several years are, you know, able to do this and able to replace their income by renting out these sites. Vince was a super great example, and I always love hear his story because he talked about Herc's Rank and Rent guide back in 2015, and that's actually when Herc and I sort of met and started this. And you know, it was from that guide and another idea that Herc had that became the foundational cornerstone for one of our softwares that you see on our page, our world-leading SEO software there. And that's how I got involved with Herc. That's how I met him. Those were the couple of things that really impressed me about what he had done. And my prior experience is, well, first of all, I have a degree in computer science, and I was a coder when I was younger, and started making money online in the 90s. 1996 was when I first started. I got heavily involved in I got heavily involved in I got heavily involved in lead gen actually during that time in the late 90s, and I sold a lead gen company for a couple million back in 2003. So lead gen is a very, very profitable and valuable business to get into, and to be able to sell leads to businesses that will always pay for leads. All businesses pay for leads one way or another through advertising or referrals and things of that nature. And the majority of businesses get their leads from the same way we do it, through Google. People go there and find a company that they need to work with. So I know for a fact how valuable lead gen is and how the business works. And after I sold that company, I got more involved in SEO. So I started down the path of understanding how Google works and how Google ranks back in 2004. I've pretty much been doing it ever since. I've been building software and applications and creating and pioneering some things, let's just say, some strategies in the SEO space. And I don't want to go down that road too much right here and now, because I want to get to all of your questions. And my gosh, there's so many questions over here, guys. And I truly am, you know, blown away by all the engagement and all the questions that we have to get to here in a minute. So if you join our group and get involved, you'll learn more about me and all of that stuff. But for now, I just really wanted to let you know that this is a real business. This is not something that we just created a few months ago and decided that, hey, let's make a webinar about it. No, this is something that we've been actively doing for years and years. Me for 20 years, Herc's been doing it for longer than 2015, but that's when we met and that's when we partnered up. And there's just so much that goes into this business that we've created over the last several years. What you see on the page here is a culmination of Herc and I working together over the last 7 years. And a lot of people, one of the biggest questions I get from a lot of people is, you know, how do I get started? You know, how am I going to learn all this stuff? And I'm going to tell you right now that you'll see here on the page of Fast Action Bonus number 3, the live masterclass monthly access. Those are huge. Those are extremely huge, and they're great. And we're going to get every month. Herc and I are going to come together with all of you that can come on live. We're going to go over how we're doing this. And right now, I'll tell you that we are in the process of building a site right now. And if you look inside your membership area, you can see that we started a site back in October. And we could go there now. We can show you that there's been already 4 master classes that will take you from A to Z. Here we go now. I think Herc's back. I want to show you, give you a little bit of an example of our membership site and just show you all the content that's in there and the training that we do. And, you know, we're definitely going to make sure that you understand exactly, here we go right now. The thought process of exactly how we do this is laid out right here in the live training page. You'll see here in 2022, actually just point out right now, you can see back to 2020. So we have webinars and replays and trainings all the way back to 2020 when this actual club first started. So again, proof this wasn't started a few months ago. This isn't something we decided to do recently. This is something that's been ongoing for years, and the training and the value just keeps adding up. But as you can see on the page, October 4th masterclass live build. You'll see losangeles.net. So we picked a niche from our keyword tool, and we went into, and part one is exactly that. How we picked that keyword, registered the domain, installed WordPress A to Z. So if you know nothing about how to do this, then we take you from step one all the way to the end on how we get this set up, and we do that on the October 4th masterclass. I would say for those of you that are joining right now, start right there. That's where you want to start. October 4th masterclass. Watch that. Go do the steps along with it. Maybe watch it once and then do the steps along with it. And then you'll see the November 1st masterclass. Ignore the October 18th there. That's for another level of training that we do. But November 1st masterclass is part two, where we did additional page keyword research and added more content and more pages and more keyword research for that same site. And then December 13th, we have another masterclass on adding the content, interlinking, and WordPress Basics. This is just strengthening our on-page optimization. And those three steps right there will certainly get you going, and man, you're going to build a good site by following exactly what we did there by using our software. Our software tools are very, very important in this entire process. Do not let that, don't forget that. This isn't just a bunch of videos on how to rank a site. No, this is how we use our software that we've personally developed from scratch with our development team, and we continue to work on it every single day to make it better and better and better. And also moving on 2023, we just had another one in January that was an amazing masterclass as well. I thoroughly enjoyed that when Herc was showing off some new and futuristic things and some of the ways that we're going to start doing things in the future. And so if you click on the 2023 tab there, you'll see our latest January masterclass. Here we go now. So there's right there for January 3rd. So right there is four. They're about 2 hours each, but they're going to basically give you all the training that you need to get a site built and get it to start ranking. This site right here is already beginning to rank. Now we are taking our sweet time with this site so that each and every one of you can follow along with us and know exactly what we're doing step by step and giving you time to implement those steps. And then we're going to move on to another site and maybe some other futuristic things or some of the things that we're working on in some of our future master classes. But that's part of the program. That's part of the club. Is you always get access to our live trainings to bring all of your questions. We never leave without every question answered, as you'll soon to find out as you're asking questions right now. So I'm not sure what else to show you right here, but this site has a lot of moving parts in it, but I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty details of everything that's in here. But believe me, there's more than enough in there that you're going to get an entire education on how to put a site #1 in Google, and then how to rent it out to a local business in that niche. And I promise you, it's not a hard sell when you're giving people customers that want to be contacted. It is not a hard sell. Herc went over that training car earlier, and that guy can't be thrilled enough, already paying his bills and already talking about future work that Herc's going to be doing for him, getting him more leads for some of his other services. So, all right, well, that's really all I want to say on that. If Raheem is still here, I would love to get his thoughts on what he felt about this presentation. Are you there?
Yes. Wow, I'm just picking my jaw up from the floor because that was amazing, man. Wow. Also, you've just mentioned so many things that I've been telling for those of you that have been attending these trainings, that people that have an intent to buy, they go to Google, right? If my back hurts, if my tooth hurts, if if anything needs fixing in my home, I go to Google and search for X solution near me, right? So it's only natural that the top ranking sites get the best leads, and not just random leads that get hit by an ad randomly while they're scrolling and potentially they're persuaded into taking action, but a real person with intent that is looking for a particular solution, that is looking for catering, looking for pool resurfacing. So you're gonna make a lot of businesses happy, guys. And this is, in my opinion, one of the easiest to sell, because if it's so how should I say, apparent for the business, it's unreasonable to say no to the offer. Does that make sense? You see where I'm getting at, Herc?
Sorry, man. I'm like reading questions and answering them. Can you just?
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I mean, that's what I mean. It's so unreasonable for a business to say no to this offer. Like, you're getting them top spot, you're getting them booked calls. It's the easiest thing. You have people waiting in line to grab this off your hand. So I'm super excited. I also see a lot of ways to merge this together with Marketing Blocks to make it a lot easier. You guys have some amazing softwares at your disposal as well. I mean, all I can say, guys, is 2023 is the year where all of you are gonna catch up for all the lost times and running around in circles and whatever you've been doing up until this point. 2023 is where you're gonna catch up all that lost time plus more and absolutely crush it, because this is amazing. So guys, while they're still here, take advantage, ask any questions. This is live. So make sure if you have anything, if you're on the fence for any kind of reason, I do not want you to be, because I know how incredible this is. You've seen logically how much sense this makes. So literally ask or fire away any questions. I mean, these guys are geniuses at what they do. They have the track record and success stories to prove it. Over 5,000 students. I mean, this is awesome. So yeah, I mean, Herc, thank you for this amazing presentation, brother. Man, this is so powerful. I want to ask a quick question, if you don't mind. Let's say I have a website ranking on the first page, and I have a client, which is super easy to get because they want more calls. Now, let's say I get another client that is super interested as well. Can I, let's say, after 3 months, terminate my contract with one client and then just rent it again to the next person in line?
Yeah, you could. I mean, I've never had anything like that happen. Like, if I have a client that's paying me, I don't interrupt that relationship. I don't want to damage that relationship because they're paying me money, they're happy. And clients that start paying you, keep paying you for a long, long time. I've had clients that have lasted me years and years and years. And it's just so nice to get a paycheck every month for years and you do nothing more, right? Because like I said, all the work is already done at the start. But kind of like an alternative to what you said is, if a client does for whatever reason leave you, then yeah, you just turn around. Like I said, the whole point of this is to build an asset that can generate revenue that you keep, even in the event if the client leaves you, where like in the SEO agency, when a client leaves you, that's it. The relationship is terminated and you spent a bunch of time, money, and effort building their asset. Whereas with this, you spend your time, money, and effort building your own asset, so that if your income disappears, that's okay. You just rent it to someone else. Now, if you have someone come along and say, you know, I'm willing to pay you more money, and you feel ethically comfortable with terminating a relationship with a client for a better paying client, that's up to you. You can do that, absolutely. It's your business. The point of owning properties and being a landlord with digital websites is that you own the properties. You make the rules, right? So it's kind of goes like that. Does that answer that question?
Awesome. Yeah, I mean the reason I was asking, obviously I don't want to terminate a paying client that's happy, but I can see how I'm going to have so many people waiting in line. So I thought, oh, maybe I could do like a 6-month contract for this particular person, and then after 6 months I'll do it for the next person, because you're going to have so many options, guys. When you have something in your possession of this value, you're going to have people literally standing in line with a check in their hands to rent this off you, because this is what they want. They want leads, and not just any leads, like I said, running ads and then trying, hopefully with the right ad copy and right creative, to maybe get a person that is supposedly interested or needs to be persuaded, but somebody that goes to Google, types in the specific keyword for the solution they need, lands on the websites and calls the phone number saying, hey, I'm calling about your services. Those are the perfect leads that they want. So having this at your disposal just, it turns you into an absolute gold mine. So once again, Herc, I love it. It's so powerful what you put together here, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. And like I know there's
guys, there's a ton of questions, and I do want to leave it open for as long as you need to answer your questions. If you've asked a question, it hasn't been answered, type Q and then write your question again, and I will get to it on the bottom. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the previous questions, because a lot of the questions are the same, and I'll talk about those. So number one of the most popular questions is, how long is it going to take me to make money, to rank a site and to rent it out? A lot of people want to see a fast ROI, or return on an investment. And there's kind of two answers to that question. The first answer is, I don't know anyone on this webinar personally, and I can't speak to your ability to learn and to implement, right? It's going to be different for everyone. Some people are going to consume all the training really quickly and be able to implement it quickly. Some people just have time constraints, so it's going to be slower for them. So everyone is literally different, right? But in order to give you a more, concrete answer as to how long can this take, for me, guys, I can get a website if I choose the keyword right. Okay, this Golden Niche Keyword Sniper software, number one, is the most important step in the process, because it's the first step. And if you take that first step in the wrong direction, nothing that you do after that is going to work out very well for you. So it's important to choose your keyword right. Now, if you choose your keyword right and you follow my instructions, I can rank a site inside of 60 days, number one in Google. And in fact, I am going to go back into my training here and show you a section we didn't talk about. Okay, under the Learn, we have our 4 core modules: find the keyword, build a website, rank the website, rent the website. But this section right here, over the shoulder, just to prove that to you, we talked about catering, Stamford, Connecticut today. You can come and watch me build this site from scratch. When you join as a full member, this will unlock to you, and you can see the dates, the timestamps, okay, and watch the videos. But you can see pretty much at the very end of 2019, so call it, January 1st, 2020, I registered the keyword as a domain for the first time on a brand new domain. And then pretty much at the beginning of March, so January, February, and then at the beginning of March, that's about 64 days in total, my main keyword, catering, Stamford, Connecticut, was ranking number 1 on Google. So once you're on the first page, you're almost ready to start prospecting your website to be rented out. But once you're in the top 3, and especially at number 1, you're probably going to be generating enough leads to really do some damage. And that I can do that in 60 days because I know how to find easy to rank keywords that are profitable, and I know how to optimize the websites, which is part of the training that you get when you join Rank and Rent Club. I'm going to show you guys step by step how to do all that. Now, once you're generating leads, guys, it's just a matter of contacting businesses on page 2 and 3 and reaching out with those methods and getting them to ask you to call them, just like I did on that phone call on the webinar. And renting it out can be really fast. You can really rent it out within 24 hours if you're on top of things, if you're contacting a lot of people, because once again, you're offering something that a business wants, which is more leads. You already have it in place, and you're going to do it in a way that the business doesn't have to take any risk, right? You're going to do it in a way that there's no money up front, there's no contracts up front, there's just leads. Let me send you leads, let me prove it to you, just like you heard on that phone call. So it can happen really, really fast within 60 days. Now, I know some people on this webinar are going to think, what? 60 days? I want to make money tomorrow. But let's be realistic here, guys, okay? I know there's a lot of internet marketing products out there that promise you instant millions tomorrow. But is that really realistic? Is that truly realistic, or is that just marketing, right? We're showing you a real business model, guys, that when you get it right and you rent a site out, that's going to pay you up to $1,000 a month for years and years and years. As long as you keep delivering those leads, that client's going to keep paying that bill. It's stable. It's stable income. And if you think that making $1,000 a month every single month, and it takes you 60 days, but like, maybe 4 or 5 hours of work total, even 10 hours of work total in 60 days, and that nets you $1,000 a month isn't fast enough for you, I just would question, do you really believe in real business models, or do you like, kind of hypey stuff? Because we're not doing anything hypey here. We're not doing anything, flashy, or what do they call those, shiny object syndrome, stuff like that. It's a real business model. So that's kind of a long answer to a short question. How long will it take me to make money? one of the other questions I saw in here a lot was people saying, you know, I live in a small town, will this still work? Remember, guys, it doesn't matter where you live, okay? You can do this from anywhere in the world. For instance, I live in Canada and most of my clients are in the United States. So I build websites in the United States that target cities in the United States, even though I live in Canada. Now, the reason I do that is because the US dollar is stronger than the Canadian dollar. So when I charge $1,000 a month to a person in the US, I actually get more income because I'm Canadian. So I get paid in US, but I make that FX, the foreign currency exchange kind of bonus. So it doesn't matter where you live. Clients don't care where you live. They only care if you can get them more leads. They don't care about your website or your rankings or your methodologies. They don't care about any of that. What they really want is more leads for their business. And that's literally what you're going to give them. So you don't have to worry about any of that other stuff. That also relates to languages. I saw people asking, you know, can I do this in another language? You can do this in any language you want. The tools work to find keywords in different languages and different Google databases. And in fact, if you do it in different languages, the level of competition that you'll be up against is actually going to go way down, because most people are doing this in English and most people are doing this in the United States, right? So we have, for instance, a guy in the club who lives in Mexico, speaks Spanish. So he builds and targets all the cities in Mexico, like Cancun and Playa del Carmen, and his websites are in Spanish, right? But he has far, far less competition because there's not a lot of people in Mexico who are doing this, and not a lot of, you know, of the people who are doing it, they don't do it as good as we do it. So it doesn't really matter where you live. It doesn't really matter what language you want to do it in. You can absolutely do this like that. Another question I saw a bunch in here was, what do you do with the leads before you have a business that's paying you for the leads? Okay, and the short and easy answer is, number one, you send them to voicemail. So you're going to get a call tracking number, which is a number that you own, and that allows you to forward the phone calls to anywhere you want. So when you sign a new client, you get their phone number, just like on that video. Once I said, just give me your phone number, I'll forward all the calls to you. Now, before you have someone that's actually paying you, just send the calls to voicemail, okay? And the reason why is, number one, you're going to get data on how many calls you're actually getting on your website, right? You're gonna know your website conversion number by getting that data, okay? And then you can also work to improve your website's phone conversion. And then you're also, because you're sending them to voicemail, you're gonna be able to listen to those voicemails and analyze the quality of those calls. You'll also be able to send a link to potential new clients to listen to a sample of the calls that have already come in and the voicemails that have already come in. So that's one option and why you would do it that way. Another option, okay, that can actually make you a little bit of money is send the calls to a pay-per-lead network. You're still going to use the call tracking number. You're still going to forward the calls somewhere, but you're going to sign up with a CPL network that pays you, you know, maybe $5 to $15 per call. And you won't make as much that way as what you will when you have someone renting the site, but at least you'll start producing a little bit of income while you're prospecting the site out to a bigger renter. So there's a couple things you can do with that. Another great question is about contracts. Okay, do you supply, so in the Rank and Rent Club, you know, do you supply contracts that you have people sign? And the great thing about this, guys, is no, I don't do contracts. I've never done a contract, because when a client is willing to come and buy my leads, all I have to do is I tell it to them like this. It's, again, you heard it in the video, right? And when I did that live sales call, I said it to them right there. I was like, listen, there's no contracts. You can cancel anytime if you're not happy. Just pay the rent and I'll continue sending the leads, right? Because you own the property, because you are the landlord, you once again set the rules, okay? Contracts typically, guys, are meant to lock people into a position. So they're popular in things like an SEO agency or a Facebook ads marketing agency or a paid traffic agency, where you say, look, you can start working with me if you sign this 3 or 4 or 6 month contract. And the reason you have a contract in place is you're trying to protect the longevity of your income, which is a weak play. You're not leveraging strength, you're leveraging weakness with that. With this model, rank and rent, instead of a contract, you say, look, you just make sure you pay the rent and I'll make sure I send you leads. But if you don't pay the rent, I'm going to stop the calls. And that's all you have to do, and clients get it. And then if they do skip a payment, you shut the calls off. And then when all of a sudden their phone dries up and they say, hey man, what happened? I was like, well, you need to go pay your rent, right? And they will, right? So that's coming from a far better position of power. And it's less work for you. You don't need contracts, you don't need legalities with that method. Let me see, I got a lot of other questions here. How would you use this for solar leads generation? I saw somebody talking about lawyers leads. So listen guys, there's a million niches you could get into, okay? And one of the things we teach in the first step in the find section, okay, is how to find niches. If you don't know what niche to find, okay, if you're like, should I start with plumbing? Should I start with locksmiths? Doesn't matter. All that matters, guys, is that the keyword that you start with is profitable and easy to rank. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do right here in this training, guys. I'm going to teach you how to find profitable, easy to rank keywords. Now, if you love being in those big industries, like whenever you get on any sort of lead gen training call or marketing webinar, you always hear the same niches, right? Plumbing, HVAC, water damage, garage door repair, right? And a lot of times those things are big and they're competitive, but I'm going to teach you how to get into those big competitive niches, but make sure that you start with a keyword that is easy to rank. And an example of that, okay, is like, if you want to go into roofing, for instance, don't go into roofing, go into a subtopic of roofing. So for instance, Spanish tile roofers in New Mexico, because it's one of the most popular roofing types for residential homes in New Mexico, or flat roofing, which is great for commercial roofers, or metal roofing, which is another commercial. So I'm going to teach you how to go into big industries, but niche down into easy to rank keywords. Okay, so you can use it literally, guys, for any niche. You can use it for anything. Okay, even if you own your own business, you can use this to drive more leads to your own business. Just learn the strategies, apply it to your own websites. Let me see. If you guys see any questions too that I didn't ask, go ahead and ask them. So yeah, more about the call tracking number. And this one relates to another question. Someone said, is there any upsells to this? No, guys. You're literally, let me change the screen back. You're literally getting everything you need in our entire package, right? You're getting everything for find, build, rank, and rent. Find the keyword, build a website with hosting, design it with local business templates, get free content, which, by the way, guys, you're all Marketing Blocks owners. I'm going to teach you how to get free content elsewhere, but with Marketing Blocks, you've already paid for a tool that's generating you free content. And a lot of people are trying to tie together, how am I going to use Marketing Blocks for this? Guys, Marketing Blocks is killer for writing all your content, even creating landing pages and stuff like that. You have a tool already at your disposal that's going to put you ahead of a lot of other people that aren't starting with that. So find, build, rank. I'm going to teach you how to rank with the link building training. Okay, rent. We're going to teach you how to rent the sites out. With the fast action bonuses, guys, are all built to help you rent faster. The prospecting software, the sales scripts of what to say to people to get them to say, hey, can you call me please? Because I'm interested and I want to hear your pitch. And then, guys, the live masterclass monthly access. You know, being able to stay up to date with me, access me every single month. You'll also get access to a private forum and a private Facebook group so that you have options of getting help along the path. Now, kind of backing up to what I said about the call tracking software and upsells. Are there any upsells? No, there's not. But the only one thing that you will need to buy later on is that call tracking software. But there's good news about that. Number one, we don't have a call tracking software, but we know the owner, the developer of an amazing call tracking software that I use, and we had him create a special plan for us where you could get your first 3 numbers, okay, which means 3 clients for $17 a month, which shouldn't break the bank, right? But the nice thing is, you don't need to buy it until you have a website that's ranking on the first page of Google, because you're not going to really be generating any leads. So don't spend that money until you need to, right? And even when you do need to, guys, Okay, oh, I've got a page on, or I've got a website ranking on the first page of Google. I got to go spend $17 a month to buy a call tracking number. That's awesome. Good for you, because you now have a site that has real value that's ready to be rented. So you're going to turn that $17 a month expense into a $1,000 a month client very quickly by that point, right? So does this work in Nigeria? Like, I kind of already answered that, but yes, it works in any country, from any country. How could we use this rank and rent software for CPA traffic? It's kind of the same idea. Like I said, once you're generating phone calls, you can turn those phone calls, you could forward them anywhere you want. You could forward them to a client who's paying you $1,000 a month. You could forward them to a CPA network that pays you $80 per call. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. The name of the game here, guys, is to build a website that is generating phone calls. What you do with those phone calls is completely up to you, but you have options and you have an asset, right? You own the asset. And that, I think that's the biggest part of this, guys, is that a lot of people are out there building affiliate sites, or they're trying to build agencies, or they're trying to run paid ads on Facebook for clients. And with all those methods, guys, what are you really doing? You're still working for someone else. You're still working for someone else. You're not building up anything of your own. Even if you're making, like I was, you're making 25 grand a month and you think I made it. I'm making 25 grand a month with an SEO agency. But when all those clients disappear, what are you left with? Hopefully a better bank account, but that's it. The income dries up, it's gone, and all the work you did was on their sites. With this method, guys, what you were building is your own future. You're building your own assets, so that if a client leaves, you find a new one. Remember, there's never a shortage of businesses who want more business, right? So AI content, yeah, no, not a problem, guys. So one thing with local, okay, we call this local SEO, where you're targeting a niche in a location. Catering in Stamford, Connecticut, pool resurfacing in Phoenix. You're always targeting a business in a location. There's a set of SEO rules that apply for certain things, but not to others. So for instance, with affiliate marketing, you have to be more careful with how you do things, and you have to do more of them, right? With local marketing, you get to break a lot of rules. And for example, like when I showed you guys, it only takes us a handful of links to beat everybody else. That's one of the rules that we get to break, is you don't need to build a lot of links to beat everybody else, because you're targeting low competition niches, meaning they're easy to rank on the first page of Google, and you don't need to blow your budget buying a bunch of links, right? And people think, oh, well, building links to these sites is bad. We've heard all these SEO myths. Okay, I'll just call them that, myths. Oh, you can't send links to your site right away. You have to build this buffer network. It's all bullshit, guys. I've broken all those myths by building sites and doing everything that people say you can't do. People say EMDs don't work. That's absolute bullshit. They absolutely work. They're an absolute monster, especially in local marketing. You get an instant rankings boost from using EMDs. And if you don't know what that is, join us so you can learn about this stuff, so that you can have a skill that works really great. Let me see, did I contracts I already covered. So AI content, I was going to talk about AI content, guys. I have a site up right now that is built 100% with AI content, just to disprove, okay, because I know everyone out there is going absolutely bonkers about AI content, and I know why. It's because it's a big bill that people need to, before AI, people were paying content writers and all these other services, and now with AI content, that reduced those costs, increased your time efficiency, which is great. But now people are freaking out. Oh man, Google can detect AI content and we're going to get, penalized. Not in local marketing, guys. You're not competing against, the Huffington Post, and you're not competing against these big affiliate networks. You're competing against Joe Blow, right? These 5 other websites that made it onto the first page of Google because there was nothing better to put there. And that's what I'm going to help you find, right? And compete with. So you can use AI content. There is a training that's going to be going in once that website is ranked, but it's 100% done with AI content. We also have methodologies to have your AI content produced so that they're not detected by Google's AI algorithms. We've already done that as well. So it's totally fine. So, and that applies to Marketing Blocks AI, ChatGPT AI, any AI, right? Just any AI. So Google keeps changing the rules, right? How long will my site be ranked, right? What happens if Google updates their algorithm and my sites fall? Once again, guys, there's a different set of rules that apply to local lead gen SEO, which is what we're doing here, than to big affiliate style SEO. Now, remember, guys, that site, that first rank and rent guide that I ever released, I outlined I outlined the process of doing this 7 years ago. That site is still ranking #1 today, right? And I haven't touched it. I've gone through, in 7 years, I must have gone through hundreds of Google updates. So how is it still ranking? Why is it still there? Because you're only competing against a small handful of others, because we're targeting low competition niches, right? We're not building big ass affiliate sites that get hit by spam updates all the time. So you don't have to worry about the stability of your site's ranking, because I am going to teach you core SEO fundamentals, how to build your sites properly and optimize them properly with just a few links. You're flying so far under Google's radar of spam detection methods that you're never even going to come close to touching it. So you don't have to worry about Google algorithm updates. I've never, ever, actually I did. I lost one site once because I was using like a spammy page URL technique, and Google caught on to that and de-indexed the site. 2 years later, it popped back up and it's rented again. So it's not something you have to worry about. And no specific question for what I'm about to say, but please, guys, do not let the failures of others stop you from taking action. Okay, I know we all see these articles that get posted all over the internet. Oh, Search Engine Roundtable said this, and so said you can do this, and we all have to watch out for that, and we all have to do this. Until you're doing it and failing at it, okay, you don't really know if those are opinions or facts, right? And kind of an analogy that I like to use is that if I'm standing in a room of 1,000 people and 999 people are saying rank and rent doesn't work, and there's one guy in that room of 1,000 people and saying, yes, it does, I'm making money with it, who are you going to talk to? What crowd are you going to hang out with? Are you going to pal up with the 999 people who say it doesn't work, or are you going to go listen to the one guy who says, I'm doing it right now? Right? So please don't listen to the opinions of others that are based on fear, right? Listen to people who are doing it, right? Follow people who are making it work. And that's my advice based on all these, fear mongering kind of stuff. Like, let me see. This is kind of a cool question. What percentage of clients provide referrals for new clients? I would say the percentage of clients that provide referrals for new clients depends on your ability to set that client up to want to refer you a new client. So a quick example, a new client that I just had, we were talking about expanding his reach, right? He's targeting a bunch of suburbs of the city that he's in, and he said, yeah, I want to go out to here, 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 and here. And I was like, well, do you target this other city? It's about 3 hours away. And he's like, no, I don't. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to go build a site and do this in that city. But when I have a site that's generating leads, will you provide me with a testimonial that I can use for that client to help me close them? Because it's the same niche in a city that's only 3 hours away. If you help me close that client, I'll give you a $500 discount on your next month's bill. And all he has to do is shoot an iPhone video saying, hey, Herc's the real deal. I've been working with him for months. I'm getting tons of leads, and I highly suggest you do it. So just frame your client, reward your client for helping you get a new client, and then your percentage can be very, very high. Let's see, and let me go back up here. If a client is receiving 10 leads per month and paying $1,000 in rent to me, how could I renegotiate the monthly rent? That's another great question, and that's something that you set up with your client. You always want to frame your clients for success and for growth, future growth, right? The first thing you want to do with your client is make sure they're happy with what they get, okay? And we do that with starting with a free trial. Like on that call, I don't know if you guys heard it, he offered me $1,000. Or sorry, he said, I'll give you $500 a month right now, or $500 right now and $500 at the end of the month to prove that it works. And I turned it down. I said, don't give me the money now. Let me send you 10 leads at first, and then then we'll start after that. And he's like, totally do it. Let's totally do it. He was all happy, right? Because I turned down money. And the reason I did is because I want to make this client feel like I'm his best friend, right? And because once he starts paying me, he's going to be happily paying me. Okay. And this particular client, I don't know if you also heard, he said, I have 8 divisions in the backyard. So on a follow-up call, I said, hey, I noticed you said you had 8 divisions in the backyard. What else do you do? And he said, you know, well, we also do Baja shelves, and we do artificial grass, and we do pergolas. And I said, well, would you at all be interested in me, you know, trying to get you new clients for those industries as well? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. But then he said, but I'm also a little afraid of my budget. I'm kind of at my max. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I can't do all this work for you for the same budget you're on, but what I can do is I'll go do all the work and I'll increase your calls to this amount. And if I can do that, then can I raise your budget? And he's like, let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. So Jay, that's what you want to do. You want to frame your client. This price is for this many calls. And as long as I'm providing you with this many calls, I'm going to charge you this much money. Does that sound fair? And he says, yeah, of course. All right. If the calls drop, I'll lower your price based on how much the calls drop. Does that sound fair? Of course. Now he's really loving you. All right. The other side of that is, if you want more leads, I will do that for you and I'll go get it first, but I have to raise your price. But you'll be able to pay for it because I'm generating you more leads first. Is that fair? Yes. And that's all you have to do, man. You want to always start with value first, right? And be honest with your clients, provide that value, and then you can ask for more money if you frame it. Michael, yeah, they'll probably send a replay. Guys, I'm kind of at the bottom here of questions, but I'll stay as long as you need because there's still a ton of people on here. So if I haven't answered your question, just please re-ask it. Raheem, if you want to say anything else, or Todd, go ahead and join in on it. And
man, I mean, the way you've been answering these questions back to back, guys, I hope you appreciate the time and value that Herc is giving away here. I mean, appreciate you so much for coming on and sharing this, but also taking the time to answer everyone's valid question. And like he said, if you missed any or you feel like your question hasn't been answered yet, just ask it in the chat. But more importantly, guys, I don't know for how much longer this offer is going to be up here. So if the team can give kind of a final call or last chance link, drop it in the chat box right now. To make sure the people that just got their questions answered and they needed that answer before getting in and taking advantage of this and being able to rent these websites out and having a nice side income working for them, get a chance to grab it right now. So I see the link has just been shared. Guys, it's right now up for grabs. The link is also available on the screen. The link is also dropped in the chat. If you're on the fence, ask anything. But whatever you do, don't miss out on this amazing window of opportunity that has just been presented to you. It's not very often that you find something this powerful, right? Something this easy, something that is so easily applicable and literally virtually without any competition. I love how Herc said, you know what, don't go for example, just for roofers, go and find a sub niche, a deeper niche, so you can really dominate from the inside out. And I think that's just brilliant. That's smart. I'm taking notes here myself because I'm planning on taking this to the moon, and I suggest you guys do as well. I mean, having a nice additional extra side income is always welcome, and this is just one of the most perfect things I've seen for the longest time. So appreciate you once again, Herc. And guys, if you have any questions, we'll be here as long as needed, but more importantly, go ahead and grab this while you still can.
yeah, thanks. There's another great question that came in, and I want to illustrate the power of this. Okay, so Benjamin just asked, do you do keyword mapping? Other people will call it like keyword clustering. And on the training, I showed you guys how to find a single keyword, you know, something like this, pool resurfacing Phoenix, that has search volume, that has profitability to it, that's easy to rank. Here's my site. I'm live on Google right now. Let's go back to Google. I'll show it to you. Okay, google.com. Okay, so pool resurfacing Phoenix, resurfacing, there it is, pool resurfacing Phoenix. Okay, and you scroll down past the ad, scroll down past the business, and there's my site. Okay, now that one keyword, remember I said, is worth, you know, between, I can't remember, those were like $900 to $1,600 a month if you get ranked on the first page of Google, if you get the traffic, the calls, whatever, right? I told you how to value that keyword before you build a website so that you're not wasting time with something that's not easy or not profitable. Now, here's an example of a site that's ranking number 1 based on that keyword. Now, the question again, so that you understand what I'm about to answer, do you do keyword mapping? Do you do keyword clustering? Can you rank for more than a single keyword? So let's pull in a couple other windows here, guys. So here we started with the Google search for pool resurfacing Phoenix, okay? Here is a keyword, a different search, Phoenix pool refinishing. Here I am ranking number 1 again. Let me drag in another window, okay? Resurface pool, Arizona, poolresurfacingphoenix.com. Let's go again. Resurface pools in AZ, okay? Another different quote, pool resurfacing Phoenix. I'm gonna teach you guys how to use keyword clustering, how to optimize your website so powerfully that no matter what variation of a search that a person does, your website's still gonna pop up number 1. And I'm not gonna just show you how to do that on the home page. I'm gonna show you how to also find the other related keywords that will bring those clients more paying customers for pool resurfacing. So for instance, pool cleaning, pool building, custom pool builds, right? I'm gonna show you how to build out the additional pages, and it's often, like I said, it's only 3 to 5 pages per website, but I'm gonna show you how to rank for multiple keywords on every single page, which is gonna mean more rankings, more traffic, more phone calls, more value. So do you guys understand that? And that's all done through something called Keyword Cloud optimization and clustering, and we're building that. Sorry, we're not building that. That's already built into the software, okay? The reason I said we're building that is because we have a bunch of killer upgrades coming. I don't want to talk about them, but they're gonna be awesome, I'll tell you that. Is it a good idea to somehow qualify clients so we don't waste time on a potential deadbeat client, making sure they'll handle leads efficiently and be able to handle some extra growth if we want to? I think it's an amazing idea to qualify clients, and the time to qualify clients is when they say, can you call me please? I'm interested in hearing about what you have to offer. And from there, you can ask a lot of qualifying questions, right? You can say, listen, can you handle the call volume? Do you have a team that answers the phone, or are you going to be answering the phone? What are your business hours? Can you handle more growth, right? And you can qualify clients right there so that you don't waste your time with a deadbeat client, right? And I think it's a good idea to do that. It also shows that you're very, very serious. It also gives a little bit of FOMO to the client that you're almost trying to push them away. You're saying, look, what I have to offer is so good, I need to make sure that you are as good for me as I'm going to be for you, because I already know what I have is good, but I want you to be the right client for me because I can rent this to anyone. So I want to make sure you're going to answer your phone, right? I want to make sure you're going to pay your bill, and I want to make sure that you can handle growth, because that's what I have the ability to do for you. So if you can't handle those things, then maybe you're not going to be right for me, and I don't even want to send you a single free lead, right? And also, CG, once again, you own the property, right? You own, so if you sign a client and you have access to listen to the recordings of the calls, right? Because you own the phone number, you're just forwarding it to them and recording them. You'll provide the client with those calls and those reports and everything. If after 10 or 15 calls, you've noticed he hasn't answered the call 50% of the time, you're gonna call him. You're gonna say, listen, you're not answering your phone. Why not, right? And you have the power to do that because, once again, you own the property. You are the landlord. They have to abide by your rules. It's not an SEO agency where you have to abide by their rules because they're paying you to work on their shit. You're getting paid to work on your own shit. So if the client's not answering the phone, if the client is for any reason doing something that you don't like, where you think they're not going to pay the bill, get rid of them and go find someone else. Does that answer your question, by the way? I meant before the deal. Yeah, that's kind of what I was answering. Before the deal, when the client says, can you call me? That's before the deal. Because remember the sales part of the webinar where I said there's 3 steps to selling. You have to prospect, then you have to pitch, then you have to close. It's in that step 2 where you're pitching, right? You have the person say, yeah, I'm interested. Can you call me? right? Which is the phone call that I played for you. That was the pitch where he said, yeah, can you call me? And then I called him. Right there is where you can do all your qualifying and framing of the client, right? There's probably going to be some follow-up calls here and there too that you can do that additionally with. Good. Yeah, he says it makes great sense. Any more questions, guys? I think I'm at the bottom here, so let me know. Do you know the cost in the UK, and is it plus 20? I'm sure you're asking a checkout question page, but that'll just all show up on the checkout. John, does Google Voice Phone keep track of calls in and out? I don't know what Google Voice Phone is. We use a call tracking software, and it does keep track of calls. And those reports, like when you use a call tracking software that we recommend, it dynamically creates reports, and you give access to your renter to those reports. They're very, the number one thing, guys, the clients love that, because like, once again, I'll always refer back to that phone call that I played for you on this webinar. I told them, I'm going to give you, I don't know what these guys are selling, but look, I'm going to give you access to reporting so that you know 100% which calls came from me and what calls didn't. And the way that you can do that is because you own the call tracking number. So only people that call that number come from you, right? And you pass that information on to the client. They're happy because they're measuring your ability to perform for them, right? You're being 100% transparent with them, and they love you for it, right? I don't think there's going to be tax on that, George. I'm not sure, FL, you're saying, so his special was just 4 months. If you're asking about the client's just signed. He's signed until he's no longer signed. Like, he's going to continue paying me for leads until I can no longer provide the leads. Oh, that does remind me of something. I didn't see it asked. Does anybody here, give me a 1, because there's still a ton of people on the webinar. Has anybody heard that you have to have Google My Business to do this successfully or profitably? We need to do GMB. I need a Google My Business profile. Give me a 1 if you're like, yeah, I've heard that, or yeah, that I believe that to be true. And I'll show you how untrue that is. And in fact, how you shouldn't be using GMB at first. It's a terrible idea, actually. All right, so let me bring back this screen. Okay, well, back to this keyword, for example, poor surfacing Phoenix. People are saying, can you do this with organic rankings only? And why? You know, so when someone Googles pool resurfacing Phoenix, the first 4 things that come up are ads. The next 3 that come up are Google businesses, right? Google My Business profiles, and then you get into the natural SERP results. So people are under this false impression that you have to create one of these GMBs in order to do this successfully. But the truth of the matter is, once again, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to a client is that their phone is ringing enough for the deal to be profitable. So whether you're up here, down here, or even on the 10th spot on the first page of Google, as long as the client is getting enough phone calls to make more money than he's paying, he's going to be happy, right? Now, if you were to start, and a lot of people say, you know, you got to have GMB to do this. That's these 3 results, okay? If you were to start a client with a new GMB or a GMB that you own, okay, and they're getting calls and they're happy, and then the GMB suspends or Google makes an update, because Google is all over GMBs, and we all know this, right? Google is just nuts about removing GMBs that they deem are not real. So it's very risky, right? It's very risky to rank with this on a new client. Because if you sign a client on a GMB that you own, and for 2 weeks he gets calls, and then all of a sudden those calls vanish because your GMB disappeared for whatever reason, what do you think that client's going to feel like? He's going to be like, screw this, I'm out, right? You don't have any more calls, you know, like, I'm out, and you're not going to be able to save them. But if you start with an organic ranking, the advantage to starting with an organic ranking is you might not get as many calls as ranking in the map pack, but the calls that you do get are stable. You've built a foundation, right? And that client is going to continue getting those calls for a long time. Now, if you frame the client and you say, look, I can get you more calls, will you pay me more if I get you more? And he says, yes. Now go get your risky GMB, right? Add on to a stable foundation from there. And now these calls can really get ramped up by a GMB. And if they disappear, so let's say you have a client paying you $1,000 a month. You say, can I get you more? Can you pay me more if I get you more? He says, yes. You build a GMB. He gets more calls for 2 to 6 weeks and then they disappear. What he's going to say is, what a bummer. Can you get it back? Because he's not losing the foundational calls and he knows it. But if you go from 50 to 0, he's going to be pissed. But if you go from 50 to 100 and then back to 50, he's going to be okay. Right? Does that make sense, guys? And yes, you do generate enough calls from an organic ranking to close clients. I do it all the time. GMB, guys, is a catalyst after a foundation. It's what you do. It's the fuel you add to the fire, right? You don't start with GMB, you add it on, and then you raise your price from there. So yes, you can get more traffic with GMB, but don't start there. Came in late. What are GMBs? If you don't know what GMBs are, these are GMBs. You don't even have to worry about what I just said because we don't focus on them. John says, my godchild is wanting to start making wedding cakes. Is wedding planning a good niche? Oh man, yeah. Weddings are one of the greatest niches because there's so many subsets of weddings. Like I just got married 5 years ago and we paid, I think, $4,000 to a wedding photographer. We paid another $5,000 to a wedding videographer. We paid, I don't even know the amount, to a wedding caterer. Like those are all just, that's just 3 niches in weddings. 3 niches, and like how many locations do people get married in? Thousands and thousands. So wedding cakes, I don't think wedding cakes are cheap. So just remember, guys, whenever you're picking that keyword, it doesn't matter the niche, it doesn't matter the location, it doesn't matter about anything. Is it number 1, profitable? Is it number 2, easy to rank? If those 2 tick marks are checked, go for it. Oh, here's another great question. What do you do about citations and social signals and buffer networks and all these mythological, I'm going to help you rank, okay? We talk about them, guys, but they're not necessary. They're not necessary. You just need a handful of links to rank. Once you optimize a website properly, guys, it doesn't take that many backlinks to get it to rank number 1. We teach you how to build backlinks. We teach you how to buy backlinks if you don't want to build backlinks, right? But you don't need citations. What a citation is and where it's useful is Google Maps. When you want to reference the name, the address, and the phone number, it's called a NAP. When you want to reference the name, the address, and a phone number of a business because it is as a GMB, you buy citations, right? But you don't need citations to rank organically. You don't need social signals to rank organically. You don't need a Facebook page and a Twitter profile and a LinkedIn page to rank organically. Does it help? Yeah, it does. But it's just a tweak, right? It's just a trust signal. It's not going to shoot you from page 10 to page 1. Backlinks will shoot you from page 10 to page 1. Social citations, social profiles, social fortresses, buffer networks, those are all things people do when they're competing against massive entities. But we're not. We're competing against redoyourpool.com, wefixuglypools.com, aquavitapools.com. We're competing against little businesses in areas that don't have a freaking clue how to do SEO. You're going to smoke these guys. And the only reason HomeAdvisor and Yelp is here is because Google doesn't have something better to put there. So they do domain-based authority rankings only, right? There's a lot, guys. I think, like I said, once again, referencing back to what I taught you guys today, this isn't just about making money online. This is also about getting a proper fundamental education. And once you have that education, guys, it's yours. Once you know how to rank websites locally, you have an education and a skill set that is in such high demand, the world is your oyster. So it's not just about making money with the rank and rent. That's a huge benefit. It absolutely is. But really understanding what it takes to rank on Google and building the skill set to understand how to rank websites on Google is priceless. It's $497. That's how much it costs, but the value of it is priceless, right? Besides search volume, does your software display the CPC for the keywords? It displays the CPC, it displays the, so the search volume, the cost per click, the all-in title, the all-in search, the broad phrase match, the keyword golden ratio, and the rank. It displays a lot more than any other SEO plugins ever gonna do for you, like Yoast or Rank Math. Because I guarantee you almost everybody on this webinar that does SEO is either using Yoast or you're using Rank Math, and you're not gonna get what we give you with our tool. Any more questions, guys? Difficulty scores don't matter. Difficulty scores are built by people who built an algorithm to tell you how difficult or easy they think it is to rank a keyword, right? And remember, a difficulty score is a calculation by a software, but who wrote the calculation? The person who owns the software wrote the calculation. Ahrefs difficulty scores are built by a guy who said these are, you know, the elements of what makes things easier or difficult. So you're relying on a tool to tell you whether something is easy or not, and you're putting your trust in if that person is right or wrong. We don't do that. We teach you how to look at the first page. We teach you how to optimize. We teach you how to look at people's links. We teach you how to do what the people who build tools are doing so that you can understand it, regardless of what tool you're looking at and what keyword difficulty you're looking at. We teach you how to come up with the difficulty on your own, right? So you teach a man to fish. You don't feed him fish.
And this is a perfect example of, I guarantee you, difficulty scores. I know what you're talking about. That's been around forever, but they're mostly relying on backlinks because everyone used to think that backlinks was everything. But look at the top of this page. Look what you're seeing here. Yelp, Home Advisor, blah 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 blah. Look how strong those sites are, and look, and any difficulty machine algorithm would tell you those are hard to beat. But scroll up. Oh, lost your.
Yeah, I'm not logged in. I gotta log in to Moz.
Oh.
Yeah, one sec.
My point is that the way our software works and Herc's methodology on how to use it and how to think about it, his thought process, beats them every time. And see right there, #1 above everybody on that page, and everybody on that page is 10 times stronger than what Herc's done here, as far as, you know, a difficulty score, so to speak. But it's the way we do on-page optimization, guys. It's just you've never seen, I guarantee you've never seen the keyword cloud optimization. You've never seen the thought process that goes in behind doing it the way Herc has figured out how to do it. And it just blows me away every time too. You know, he taught me this. And it's just amazing. And difficulty scores will always tell you, look at those PAs, look at those PAs. 40, 30, DAs 93, DA 88. Those are strong, right? You know what you're looking at. If you're an SEO pro, you know what that means. You know that's strong. And then here you are, #1. And DA 5. So it's just the way we do it.
I make that point stronger that you're trying to make, guys, is my site is considered by the difficulty score way weaker than everybody else on the first page.
Yep.
So those difficulty scores, you know what I mean? They're saying, listen, dude, you have the weakest site on the first page of Google. But I'm also ranking #1, and I'm also ranking #1 above the maps.
Yeah.
Because difficulty scores aren't what really matters. It's understanding what it takes to rank on the first page so that you can beat high difficulty scores with less work, less money, less effort.
Yeah. I don't know how to put it into words exactly how the way that we do it, the way Herc does it, the way Herc trains you to do it, just makes it so easy, makes it work.
And if anybody on here is that, like, I'm seeing questions, what is DA, what is PA, what is Moz score? Great, that's awesome. You don't know what those are? Come on in. I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know about all of those things. And those skills and that education that you're about to gain will stay with you, right? Even if you decide to depart from Todd and I and go off and do your own thing, you're still going to understand what it takes to rank a website on Google. And that skill is huge. It's huge. I mean, I made a whole career out of it.
Yeah.
And it's not disappearing tomorrow. Okay. People, nobody's asked that yet, but like, well, you know, aren't all the niches taken? No, there's millions. You know, aren't you competing against everybody else in the Rank and Rent Club? No, there's millions. Millions. I find so many domains every time. It's just nuts, right? So go get an education, guys. Join us, get an education. Put your education to work, make money.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are at the end here. It is exactly 2.5 hours we have been on here, and we appreciate every single one of you and all your great questions. I feel like this is turning into a training webinar where, you know, that's what we do, though. We see questions, you know, we just got to answer them. That's just what we do, especially Herky's so good at it, too. So if you have any more questions, guys, I suggest that you take advantage of, you know, getting into the club. You have 48 hours or a little less than that from now. And, you know, hopefully you'll make that decision. We'd love to have you. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to answer all your questions. We'd love to teach you how to, you know, do all this stuff and how to rent these sites for, you know, around $1,000 a month, give or take. Some 500, some 2,000. It depends on the value of the niche. We have a calculator to determine all that. You're not just, you know, throwing darts at a dartboard with numbers on it. We actually give you a basis for what you can rent these for. And, gosh, it just works. Just kind of, you know, the replay is going to be up. Everything we just said on here today is going to be up here in a few hours. GoToWebinar takes a while to render it and all that jazz. But go back and listen to the guys that have done this. Go back and listen to those testimonials. Those are real people that we've helped. And, you know, Vince Morreale was the last testimonial you heard. He just basically used Herc's guide from 2015. And then joined our program and used our software, used that guide and built a site based on the way Herc teaches it. And he's been ranking #1 for years and renting it for, what was it, 6 or 7 years now. So it's just, it's not that difficult once you go through the training and use our software. Start at the live masterclass in October, the one I showed you earlier. Start there. Write down your questions, come to our groups, come to our forums. People in there will help you. If there's something you can't get over, we're going to help you get over that. And then we're also going to have live match classes in the future. Obviously, we do them all the time. And one last thing I'll mention here, obviously, there's a full pay option for the year. You're going to save even more money. Split pay is going to cost you about $500 more going that route, but we also made this available for full pay because everybody always asks, you know, can I pay more up front and save? And yes, we have that option available. All right, I don't see any more questions coming in. So Herc, thanks again for another amazing webinar, another amazing back-end training here on all these great SEO questions that were coming in. Thanks again to Raheem for setting all this up for us and getting us in here. Thanks to Ethioke and all the Marketing Blocks users. I know that we promoted Marketing Blocks pretty heavily, and we love that software as well. We think it does a lot of amazing things. So you can use that in combination with this on some of the things that you know that you have to do. Marketing Blocks is going to help you get that job done faster, easier with its AI technology. We're developing some AI as well that's coming in the near future. But you have everything you need right now to get started and get a site up and running and get it ranking, you know, real soon. This quarter it can be done. And then we'd love to have you come in and see you do it and see you on the next training. Anything else, Herc?
That's it. Let's get the replay up.
All right, we'll get the replay up. And thanks again, once again, thanks again, everyone, for coming. Really do appreciate it. And have a great rest of your week and weekend. We'll see you on the inside, hopefully. Take care. Bye, everybody.